Hello, hello. Another Saturday night here on the channel. This is Kev, and this is Black Men Being Brutally Honest. And I am your weekend warrior, and I appreciate you for stopping by once again. You could have spent your Saturday evening doing just about anything, and people's COVID awareness has gone down strangely with the election of this suspect president. So, however your Saturday night went, if you're watching this, you decided to spend it over here. So I appreciate that, and it's showtime. Let's go. All right, people. Tonight's show basically is going to be a part two of a show I did a couple weeks ago. This is going to be the ADOS FBA versus person of people of color. Where do you fall? Where do you feel you fall? Because I don't know. I guess I'm an antagonizer of sorts. I play devil's advocate. I always try to, and I mean, like, it's not intentional. It's just the way I am. I say the stronger things in a conversation. In fact, I like the uncomfortable conversations that we have here in these circles. I mean, because they're not exactly uncomfortable to me, and that I mean, and that's cool shit because I get to search for the deeper meaning in things instead of having a regular ass knee jerk reaction. So I feel like that's kind of a slight weakness in us to have a knee jerk reaction over everything that is said. Many people would call that being sensitive. Now, I don't know if it's just a sensitivity issue or is it the fact that, is it the fact that people just don't want the BS answered? But anyway, this is one thing that I've been having a problem with lately, as far as people wanting to be black versus people who are people of color, foundational Black American, whatever. Let me just go and get this out the way first. I know that we as a people are constantly searching for an identity. We don't have we pretty much, and this is pretty academic. We pretty much don't have our own identity. We were pretty much told that we were a certain way, we are a certain way. That was, we are ways that were put in place for us instead of us, as black people making that decision for ourselves. Our ancestry has a cultural background that spans over centuries, but we really don't. And I mean, like we but that doesn't that I mean, we don't have a culture that came from us and us specifically. Our culture is pretty much a mix of like what we decided to take from things that we learned rather than being ingrained with it. Kind of like I don't know. I guess it's kind of like an African tribe. They have all their traditions and stuff. We were just left over here blindly, so we had to find ourselves. We were cut off. We're all over here. We're cut off from our ancestry. So, I mean, I can tell you my family heritage past. I would say my great grandmother on my mother's side. The is like that, and all the kids she had, my great grandmother, and all the kids she had, including my grandfather. That's about as far back as we can go, and that's a shame that we have been cut off from that. And I remember going to junior high school. Like I went to an elementary school, Catholic elementary school. I went to a public junior high school after 8 years of private school, first through eighth grade. My parents decided to throw me in public school. And one thing that I did notice is we had, we had this project in, I think it was Alabama history. Yeah, they were teaching Alabama history. And we had this project where we had to tell our family histories. And the white kids, they was like, well, my grandfather came over here in 1835 from Ireland, and he came over here with a dream, and he was able to be like, the white kids were always able to tell that kind of stories, and we couldn't. The black kids were kind of stuck. And to me, at the time in ninth grade, it was one of the saddest things I'd ever seen, because it was the one day I realized that we truly did not have an identity. Everything was handed to us, and we had to accept it and press on. I mean, and it wasn't, after which I was saddened by it. I was saddened by the fact that I wouldn't know how to go back, go back 100, 200 years. I couldn't tell you who existed in my family back in the day. They got their ancestry.com, but I don't know. I just don't trust that. I don't trust it. It's whatever y'all want to think and whatever y'all want to do. But I think they're just trying to make you pay money for something that you should just have for free anyway. Yeah, but that has caused a lot of problems, and I think that people don't understand and don't realize it has caused a lot of division in our community. With the lack of identity, and we as a people, we went to what was natural and we went to what was trendy, and that became our culture. I mean, think about it. A lot of where you get your culture from is the mainstream media, whether y'all like it or not. Yeah, mainstream media definitely has impact and influence on the way we carry on from our day-to-day lives. Like I said, they tell you that this tennis shoe is cool right here, you're going to go buy that tennis shoe. But that's where we get most of it from. That's where we get most of it from, whether you agree or disagree. Just think about it. What if we all had those decisions to make for ourselves? Pretty much. We didn't have any kind of media impact. We didn't have any of that. Some of us would be pretty lost. We wouldn't know where to go. That's why I would say that I guess we just have to work with what we have at this point. I mean, do most of us care where we came from? Would most of us care to find out who our ancestors was from 200-300 years ago? I think it'll be interesting, but how much impact would that actually have? I think that it was something that we would need, because it would definitely give us an identity. But what if we look back 200-300 years and we found out where our identity was, and we wanted to distance ourselves from that as much as possible? What do we come from a tribe that has a tradition of, because I've heard some horrors about Africa and how they treat their women. What do we came from, a tradition of, killing and mutilating. We didn't know that. Would you want that? Would you want that in your lineage, or would you just want to move on and just carry on? What's going on, guy?
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, so what's the topic? I see y'all talking ADOS, but I don't know what the second part is.
Just ADOS, foundational Black American versus people of color. Just basically just having a conversation about where we stand, and where we stand in all this, and is just that the kind of like last night's conversation, the division that comes with our lack of identity. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's interesting because Black people. It's funny how when Black people sexually politic versus any other time. Like on one hand, nobody never really questions the people of color shit. I mean, not in real life. I mean, in YouTube, they do, because people are kind of aggregating and saying how they feel. But in real life, most people don't. They just go along with it. And even you see that on the social media, too. A lot of people go along with it. And if you actually inquire as to how has that benefited you, two things happen. Either on one thing, they're benefiting because they are not really ADOS, or they may be mixed or something like that. It maybe has to do with who they're around. On the other hand, they have no answer. They clearly know they're not benefiting from it, so they just emotionalize their way through it. And on the other hand, though, when black men are dating women of color, now all of a sudden motherfuckers have an attitude. So it's like, on the one hand, you cape for this shit. On the other hand, you see a black, like, I just shared a Facebook post on my wall, and I show Kamala Harris, and I show Tyrese's wife. This is the wife he got in trouble for saying was a black queen. And she's mixed. She's got Jamaican in her. Same thing as Kamala. So on the one hand, you get mad for black men, chastise black men for the 20% that did not support Kamala Harris. But on the same time, you get mad that Tyrese called his wife a black queen. Which is it?
Well,
I mean, which is it? And yeah, so yeah, go ahead.
well, they try to stick that colorism shit on us, like, which is just nothing but a projection, because I believe the women are the biggest colorists ever, and you can smell it on them every time you're around them. Uh, but like I said, like a couple weeks ago, we follow people of prominence, and we use that one drop rule just to put them in a position of black, just like we did with Obama, and just like we're doing with Kamal.
And it's mainly, and by the way, it's mainly the women doing that. A lot of dudes will go along with that, but it's the women that really push that shit. The dudes, for the most part, are not going out of their way to do that shit. You don't see dudes going out of their way, like in football, to say like Mahomes is black. They'll say he's mixed. You know what I'm saying? Kaepernick too. They ain't even claim Kaepernick for the most part. They only claim Mahomes for the most part. He's just a guy. He's not white. It is what it is. So I say that but you do see women. Cardi B is a perfect example, as I talked about yesterday. Black women made Cardi B. I mean, real fucking talk. Like, I remember in World Star Hip Hop, like, 'cause I know where she came from. Even though I didn't follow her. I still follow a lot of Instagram comedians, and she wasn't really a comedian, but that was like one thing she did, and that kind of got her a lot of following, because she was a character even back then, and it just caught fire on Instagram at a different time of Instagram when the reach was really good, and you see that, and a lot of this stuff, you observe it, and it's like you can't even take people seriously, because it's like they're so unaware of what they do. It's fucking funny when you call it out. It's like, wow. And this is not just women, this is dudes too. So any black person, especially ADOS, that supports people of color, like, I'm just interested in somebody giving me a real solid answer as to why they do it. It doesn't have to be something I agree with. I just want to know. I just want them to be honest about it, just to even show me that they've even thought about it. I've yet to find that.
I don't know. I mean, as far as the Kamala thing, I think that people just want to be on just living vicariously through those who they deem winners.
Well, yeah, well, it's beyond Kamala though, because, like, for instance, you'll see, I forget who was it. No, I ended up going to like Art in the Stalls page, and BGS was on there, and one of the things he said, like, it was not him, it was somebody that was on there. I forget. I think it was Alan. I don't know, but he was talking about, like, in college, like, black women are fighting Latin women because, I guess, of sexual politicking. So these are people of color. So it's like, it's this thing about, is you in different situations you operate differently, but you want to act like that's not what you're doing, and this shit kills me. And this is why I'll always say, it's like, you need to pick. You're gonna have to separate your Kelly Rowlands, your Marilyn Negras from your your light-skinned women. And even, and to be fair, a lot of these females will say it too. Paris and Chrissy will say, but they know their audience is not for that shit. Their audience does not want to do that because they don't want to stand on their own. And that's why, for the most part, they shut up about that shit. Because that's the one time that'll get them in trouble with their audience, if you start really telling them to do that, because they don't. And then I don't know who to blame. They'll want to, for some reason, they want to blame black men for that shit. But I'm like, that's not our problem that you all are that fuck. Just like I'm short. That's not no female's problem that I'm short. If I'm insecure about it, that's my problem. It's between me and God. That's it. And it's the same thing when it comes to your skin color and how you feel about it. That's on your ass. It ain't no man supposed to do. Well, my dad's supposed to. Well, that's on your mom for not sticking with the dude or not choosing the dude she wanted to stick with, or choosing a dude that wanted to stay. That's on her. But when in doubt, blame the black man.
Oh anyway. Yeah, absolutely. Well, what up, Dre? What's going on? You there? Okay, he'll answer in a second.
We'll see if a dude try to pop up and talk about "fuck you when you a bitch."
Hey, I mean, I didn't even know that dude.
Fuck you when you a bitch.
Nigga, I got ghosts. Nigga, I'm getting haunted on this motherfucker. That's what it is. Remember Tales from the Hood?
Yeah, I remember that movie.
How's everybody doing?
What's going on, Dre? The judge.
I'm hanging in there, Work, as we say, the grind never stops.
No, it don't stop.
Grind.
You're correct about that. So tonight's topic is ADOS, FBA, or people of color. Sometimes I feel like that we do this people of color thing because it's easier. Now you're you think that somehow gains you allies, by calling people, other races, people of color. But who else falls in that people of color category? White women. It's a political thing to, and I said this to one of my family members the other day. It's a political thing to usher you to the side and say, hey, you know what? We're going to handle all people of color problems, but we're going to usher all the black problems to the side conveniently. You know what this guy told me? He told me, hey, he was like, we can't, if we're not sensitive to the problem of others, we can't, sit there and talk about ours. I was like,
okay. So the first thing I would ask somebody to say some shit like that, I'd say, okay, do you believe these people give a fuck, are sensitive to your shit? And if you do, show me some tangible examples, not no pat you on the head examples. For instance, white women marching in Black Lives Matter, those are pat you on the hands examples. There's not getting laws passed. So give me some examples. That's what I would ask, just to see if they've actually thought about that on the other side, or if they are just saying that shit on autopilot. But go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, I think they say that they say that not to deal with the difficult conversation.
Yeah, I mean that's why this is why a lot of times unfortunately black people just have to suffer more. I hate to say it that way, but you gotta kind of put them in a position where that stupidity is gonna get them killed. Yeah, you got to put them in a position where Darwinism's going to deal with them, and then that reptile in the back of their head is going to check in. But then again, you've had black people get killed and be on the forgive shit. So, I mean, again, the depths of that, and you said this was a dude saying that, right?
Yeah, this is a guy.
Yeah, I mean, so what did you say?
No, I'm more of a kind of a, I would say, I take feeling out of it. I'm like, why the fuck should I care? Like about other groups. And it's not because other groups blatantly don't care about us. It's just that it's about time we start caring about us. Like,
and what did he say?
I mean, he said something like simple militants. He said you're displaying simple militants. Like
simple militants.
Well, he said you're being militantly simple. That's what he told me. So it turned into another conversation, to say the least.
Simple militant. I mean, it's so a corporate, so you're saying that putting your priorities first is militant? So like every group does that. Like so like what are you talking about? Like that shit, that's nigga babble to me.
Yep.
And see, and the thing about it is, I try not to enforce what I think on people. I pretty much will, and maybe that's me, the sales in me, walking people through objections. But I'll ask them open-ended questions so they run into the stupidity of what the fuck they're talking about. I'm like, so explain to me. So I would have been like, okay, so would you say that black people as a group already don't get, like, in the last 30 years, when have we, ever since the Black Panthers, when have we, which was in the 90s or the 80s, early 90s, 80s, right, in that area, so we're talking about 30 years, when have black people been militant? Like, you tell me. Maybe I don't know.
As far as American black, no, not unless in small enclaves like the Black Panthers, like you said.
Yeah, or the Nation of Islam, which nobody was, is very small compared to, it's not, it's literally statistically insignificant compared to the entire black population in America. Yeah. So I'm like, so because if you say, well, that's militant, you're making it sound like, okay, we're already on that, so we need to come off of that. So my thing is, and see, what you do is people will start to what they'll do is they'll try to dodge the conversation because they'll realize how stupid what the shit that they're saying is. Like, and see, this is the type, like, are you serious? Like, black men in particular, black men don't get shit and we give everything away. So the shit like that, that's why you never hear, because when people actually come on here or they come on the manosphere saying shit like that, the shit, they sound so fucking stupid because they really never actually said that shit to people that may counter it. They've said it to like-minded motherfuckers that just believe, because it's an easy emotional thing. And again, this is how you know black men don't really have control of their own community, because that mindset is a mindset of somebody that does not control shit. Real talk. Like, that's a mindset that if the women give a fuck more about what they're getting than you do. That's the crazy shit. But these niggas, oh, that's just part of being a man, and da, da, da. But anyway, man, I could go
well, that attitude of militants comes from the exaggerated caricatures in the media. Oh, I'll give you an example. How Michael Evans acted in Good Times, like when he was younger, before he became the little flamboyant singer with the tambourine. Like, how he used to always pump his fist in the air and talk about, well, you know how it was. Anybody that watched Good Times know how that was. They tried to make militants in the black community a joke. Basically, it was a joke. And they expressed that throughout, especially with the Black Panthers. Like, even recent depictions of the Black Panther. I'll give you a bad one. That movie, The Butler, Lee Daniels. Yeah. Like, they depicted the Black Panthers as militant extremists that was bent on the downfall of the government. That just
and this is why you hear a lot of this communism shit going around. And yes, they had some views I didn't agree with, but they take it way too far. Like, oh, they were working for the goddamn Soviets and shit. I'm like, no, motherfucker. And this is our fault for not making documentaries to really this is why Jewish people make they make sure they tell their fucking story. They don't allow you to tell it. Black people, we let other people tell. And well, we can't make a movie, of course, but you can make a fucking documentary. Where's these athletes? Where's all this athlete money? All this Hollywood money, especially in social media. Now it's you can make a good documentary. Like, if you want to make a professional movie grade one, $77,000. You actually can do it for less. Jason Black is already proving you can make documentaries. All right, get them to pay for themselves. So that's on us at the end of the day. Maybe we're getting around to it. But to me, that's not even an excuse, because you have the Nation of Islam that they've tried to make a joke, and you see a living embodiment of what that is. You wouldn't say people would say they're militant, but that's because that's that I want white folks and I want to be accepted by America shit. And as long as black people are black, this is another reason why black men don't want to travel no fucking where, because that's a slave mentality. Like, and when you recognize it, you just keep people in their lane, and where, you can come to agreement as far as exchange of value, you do it, and then you leave them in their fucking lane.
Mm.
It's no different than that situation with that dentist. Have you heard about that? The dentist getting shot?
Oh, well, what happened? What happened? Yeah, I
Well,
heard.
it's a dentist in Dallas, yeah. And then on top of the Vaughn shit in Atlanta, on top of another Dallas rapper, you got to leave people in their lane. And the thing about that dentist is, if you're dealing with folks that have gotten out of the hood, they want to play with the hood. You gotta let Darwinism handle it. Like, because you ain't go these people, you can't tell these motherfuckers shit.
So what? He was a dentist that used to stay in the hood and went back to
So
the
no,
hood.
no. So basically, he's a guy that grew up. O'Shea Do Jackson's video is a great video on it. But if you don't like O'Shea, because everybody don't like O'Shea, go look at Dennis
Well,
Sperling's video on it.
I don't in particularly have a problem with O'Shea. I
No,
don't.
no, no. I'm saying this for your audience, not you, because there's a
Oh,
lot
okay.
of people. I
Well,
never know what part of the sphere I'm in. You know, when it comes to that, I ain't talking about you, but there's
uh,
people that follow stuff around. They don't like it, so I'm giving people options. That's all. That's not at you.
absolutely. I got you.
I know why you had to respond to that. Because yeah, but the Cliff Notes version of it is, this is a guy that he was known for making veneers. You know, so think of it like some nip tuck chick where, you know, dudes are known for breast implants and stuff like that for women. This dude is known for making veneers, kind of like Jacob the Jeweler type stuff. So he's
Oh,
known for
okay.
making veneers. He comes from the hood, and he went to Baylor. Basically, was a very hard dental school, did well, and he made like 130 something thousand a month doing this. So he made a lot of money. So rather than being kind of like Jacob the Jeweler, where you're kind of like, you got that barrier, but you're servicing a certain client base, he just went full in. Now, what O'Shea did, which was smart, is he showed a video of an interview that he had, and this dude, I would never believe he's a dentist. I would, the way he's talking. He's talking straight nigga. Like, this dude is straight from like one of these, like, you got to see it. But you would never believe this dude was a dentist. You'd never believe this dude went to college. I mean, shit, Jay Morrison don't even talk like that. This dude talk like he don't even have a high school education the way he was talking. So he was basically, yeah. So the point, yeah, man, you know, I'm in the streets. I mean, he did, and he wasn't even telling the full truth about how he got in the dentistry either. You could tell he was saying it in a way to appeal to a street kind of shit. Long story, and it's sorry that it happened, but long story short, the moral of the story is that, you know, if you act like you flossing and you're around people that can touch you, they're gonna touch you. That's a high likelihood, and that's what happened. And it's a horrible thing that it happened, especially given that two guys have died. Vaughn died. These are rappers I don't know, but they're popular to younger people. Vaughn died in Atlanta, and then this other rapper died in Dallas, and then this is the other shooting kind of thing. Don't get me started. You motherfuckers are doing this in Biden's America. So if Biden gets elected, you gonna see, you keep fucking around, you're gonna see the crime bill 2, and that's gonna fuck you all up. That ain't gonna fuck me up. So y'all keep playing like that shit can't happen again, because
Yeah,
he in there.
yeah, and he already got a guy that, you know, helped put the crime bill together in his cabinet.
Yeah,
All
that's one of his. That's his day. That's one of his day one. So he telling you, he bringing his people in. Like, people thought it was gonna be part Obama. No, this ain't Obama's cabinet. He'll get a couple of people here and there, like Susan Rice, who a goddamn is not great. So he'll get a couple of people in there because some of them people fucked with him too. But other than that, yeah. So anyway, my point is, anyway, long story short, you know, when people want to play with shit, you gotta fighting them on shit that they're already emotionally tied to is a waste of fucking time. You gotta let Darwinism handle that. You know, people are black on black crime. Let Darwinism handle that. They want to be in that shit. More power to them. Hope for the best. That's fucked up. You know, you gotta feel sorry. No, I don't, because that's a choice. They're a product of their environment. I don't hear that shit.
Yeah.
You can move.
Yeah. If you thought there was gonna be some black power shower because you got Biden in there and Trump out of there, think again.
Oh no! Anybody that believes that is just a moron. Anybody that believes that is mentally retarded.
Just like the faceless guy on Facebook that told me that voting for Biden proves that he's black. I said, dude, I don't even know if you black for real. You could be some faceless troll causing discourse among black people.
Mental. That's a mental illness, and that's a mental illness right there. And it's crazy because Dennis Sperling's video is a really good video that recaps, kind of like an add-on to what O'Shea said. but he was just talking about moving in silence and giving certain lessons. He was keeping it real. He said like how he dresses his children, and when he was married, his wife differently than him. And I actually know black people don't like that, because when you're making money, you could be a target. And a lot, and how the drip, and a lot of that is gynocracy training, where dudes, they fighting for pussy, and these are the same niggas. These will be the same niggas. Not all of them, to be fair, but a lot of these dudes will be like, "Oh, that's not tricking." No, that's tricking by proxy. And you know what you're doing. You know why you're doing it. Yeah, you can have nice things, but when you playing, look, I'm gonna tell you right now. You go into the lion's den when it comes to black men, and you fucking using money to terraform a situation right in their face, and you don't have like the other shit, you asking for it. I'm almost not even mad. Did they do what they do? Because you are really asking for it. It's one thing, and here's the thing: Nipsey Hussle has taught you can't. Here's the truth: Nipsey Hussle taught you can't even go in there with the intent to build, and help everybody, because then it's gonna be one nigga. The group may be fuck with you, but it's always going to be one dude. And I'm not saying Nipsey was wrong for going and trying to build, but the issue that you should do that, but the issue with you should do that not so much because it's the right thing to do. It is, but the power move is you're getting commercial real estate. We need to start doing what these white people are doing, is getting these places when we know they're going to be built up, and owning a piece of that. That's what these agents do, is white people do. And it's better we own it than they own it. You know what I'm saying? So my point though is he made himself way too accessible. That was his problem. And everything, and that's the same thing that's the lesson I give to the dental dude. You make yourself too accessible, and y'all be acting like, I don't know why y'all act like that. I don't know what's in you, and I'm not saying these are bad people, but I don't know what's in you to be like. I'm just talking about it because I'm a type of person. Motherfuckers don't know what I got. Like, only a couple of people know what I got. And I'm and it's not, and look, I'm not just cautious of that of black people. I'm cautious of that of white people too. I don't trust nobody. Shit like that.
I don't trust anybody either, but it's real sad that I can't trust black people. Like,
white people will play the long game on your ass. So black people, you kind of can see it coming a little bit more, but no. So I want people to think this ain't just black people. I do this on white people will get your ass too if you ain't smart. So this you as a black man, you just gotta know you ain't supposed to have shit. That's really what it is.
Yeah. If you put yourself in the palm of a white person's hand, you are you are likely to suffer detriment anyway. So it's a shame that you have to be careful with both blacks and whites, but that's just the reality of it. Especially if you're a black man, and especially if you're a black man that got shit. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. It's so bad that, like, take Robert Smith for example. If you black and you got enough money, and then you let a black person, a non-black person, fuck with your shit, I'll give you two examples: Robert Smith and LeVar Ball. LeVar Ball kids don't even fuck with him no more business wise, because when he let that black dude, with that hustler dude, fuck with his money, fuck with his kids' money. So they like, all right, we gave you a shot, we got to do us. So LaMelo is going with Puma, and LeVar's mad. The other son did what he did and got off the Big Baller brand. That's one side. Yeah, the other side is you look at Robert Smith, where you got a whole bunch of non-black people fucking with your money, and if they fuck up, they trying to get you. Because they already don't like the fact you're a billionaire. It's already too many black men are starting to break that barrier already. And so shit like that, they get you in a different way. Take Bill Cosby, for example, too. So you liable to get got. Don't think if you making over I say 10 million, you on a list if you black. I don't give a fuck about what you say, because that ain't a lot. That's not a huge long database. And they can get you on tax. They can see you on taxation. So you already know you're going to get the fucking Wesley Snipes treatment if you fuck with the taxes, because they looking to get your ass. It don't matter if you can pay it. Wesley Snipes proved that. So it's just, you just got to pay attention to a lot of shit. And it's not so much that I'm not on the black on black crime conservative shit. I'm on I get tired of black men thinking that they're safe. And it doesn't matter if you're in the street or where you think you are. I'm there, Bill Cosby around white women, like that shit was never ever gonna come back on his ass ever. You know, like just any situation. This is not about street dudes. It's about even dudes that get out the street or dudes of the suburbs. Niggas need to stop thinking they safe. And that's sad that you can't but for real, because if you act like that for too long, like even like take Dr. Dre. The only reason why Dr. Dre hasn't been done in yet is because he got Jimmy Iovine protecting him, because Dr. Dre is a money machine for him. When that stops, all this stuff about him hitting women, all this shit's gonna come out, and it's gonna be like, well, why did it last as long as it did? Saying, why did R. Kelly last as long as it did? Because R. Kelly was making people money. Anyway, my bad. I ain't going to rant, but yeah.
I mean, well, you know, it's a show. I mean, we talk, so it's cool. But yeah, it like MC Hammer. Now I bring up MC Hammer, you know, as a prime example of all of this. He went on a talk show one time and said that you can't go back to the hood in your expensive car to visit your mother because
hell no.
Because you pull in the driveway, you come back out, 2, 3, all the tires have been slashed. Because, you know, but we have a people that complain about dudes leaving the hood and not coming back. You know, oh, you went off, got successful, and you too good for us. Because we be killing our folks. Like, we had, like, Montgomery, Alabama, for example, and I think in 2015, we had a rapper named Doe B. Like, he was about to hit mainstream. He had worked with Cash Money. Frank Ski in Atlanta was managing him. He was mixing it up with T.I. I mean, he was on his way up. But he went back to a club in Montgomery, Alabama. You know, he went back to a club. He performed at that club, and he got shot at that club. Shot and killed. Girl celebrating her birthday there. Went to college, got killed. Another guy got killed. It's like you can't ever go back and celebrate with your people, no matter what, especially if you mixed up in that hood shit. And these rappers, they don't want to leave the hood because they want to stay street with it. They want to be authentic, but
well, one thing I give dudes in the South credit for is dudes in the South usually ain't talking that bullshit. They usually honest about, yeah, your ass better not come back here. Like, you got people's friends. They be like, don't bring your ass back here because you already know how these niggas are. They not gonna front. That's usually some Midwest, some Northern shit, because it's a low key hustle to get your ass back. You know, there on some rob shit. But there, I already know what it is. I forget who said it. It was either Country Rain. It was somebody, and they was like, yep. They already know, because ain't nobody even gonna try to lie about it. Like, what's the point of even trying to? And it's, here's the thing. It's not that black people are bad. That's not the problem. That's not the issue. The issue is we live in a hyper consumer society. When you live in that, like, for instance, why is it that you could go in the Dominican Republic? I'm not saying wearing gold and shit or driving a car, but most likely that won't necessarily happen to you. Like Sammy Sosa or Big Poppy, but whatever dude of fucking Red Sox. Why that won't? Because it's a different culture, and a lot of these folks, they don't have a lot to begin with. They're not being inundated with commercials and shit. Now, this is not to say it cannot happen, because obviously it can, but it's just different shit. Especially if you put money in. If you put money in, you pretty much gonna be good. Like Nipsey, right. The Nipsey shit probably wouldn't have happened in those other cultures, because they're gonna be like, you fucking the money for everybody up. But see, that's still so my point is, that's because they're not inundated with commercialism that creates the you don't have, and somebody has. So it's not me blaming the people saying just black people, because that shit can happen in Hispanic communities, a lot of different communities, by the way, in America. It's a culture thing as far as an hyper American society type shit. And I understand that.
Black people too, though, fam. You got.
Well, I mean, you can, but I'm adding, but we stop there. That's the thing. We'll say, I'm not letting black people off the hook. Remember, I said you're a fucking idiot if you go back, and Darwinism gonna handle that. And so if you on that feeling sorry for black people and you gonna be around them bullshit on some leader bullshit, you're an idiot. So, but at the same time, behind that. Yeah, so I get what you're saying, but behind that, I understand the why. Doesn't mean I'm still gonna fucking do it. But I understand. Go ahead.
Welcome, Rogish, and we're gonna get to them comments in a second. Absalom Pianki, I do want to respond to those. But what's going on with you?
Shit, maintaining, man. You know what I'm saying? Trying to see how things going in the bizarro world right now. So, trying to keep your mental semblance.
By the way, people know not to ask me to put them on, because if they do, they're gonna get a network marketing pitch. Even if I'm not in the network marketing business, that's how you gonna get put on by me. So they know not to ask my ass. No, put me on to that other shit. Well, that other shit got started when I was in network marketing. So, man, you know what? Never mind. All right, absolutely.
Yeah, I see the title, and it's very interesting. ADOS, FBA, or people of color. Well, what do the
Yeah, we kind of came off of that, but yeah, get back to that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a conversation. These conversations last long enough for the subject to be well covered. So, I mean,
My more question is, where do niggas fall in with that thing?
Okay.
Usually niggas are talking about people of color.
Really?
In that box.
People of color, huh?
The ADOS is something relatively new, but even with ADOS, a lot of reasons why you see a lot of people gravitate to ADOS is because of sexual politicking. Like, I always wonder why women gravitate to as much as they do. It's because that's just another group of people they can tell black men not to date. As far as Jews, I mean, when it comes down to it, remember, 80% of black men voted for people of color. Just remember that.
Right.
So, like I said, most niggas fall into it is what it is, but whatever.
Yeah, and also I put Roga's channel in the chat. Go ahead and sub them. Good, interesting content over there.
Respect, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Absalon, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Good.
Peace,
Good.
man.
Peace.
My question was, let's say, suppose if a brother is not subscribing to any one of those movements, or like let's just say concepts in particular, whether it's ADOS or FBA or anything like that, like,
right.
Yeah, like what would be the, would that be a problem if we, like if we're not subscribing to those kind of, in this day and age with things moving how it's moving? Just curious.
Here's my answer to that. I mean, you're pretty much free to make your own choices, no matter what. I mean, that ain't up to me. My thing is with this conversation, people seem to want to move more toward the people of color label because they think it's easier to being black, or having to face the struggles that we've had in the past, or somehow departed from those struggles being a person of color. Because when you say people of color in the political sense, you're talking about everyone who isn't white. Oh yeah, and white women, because they put white women in minorities. So they're trying to slip in that people of color,
Yeah.
too.
And these are all macro groups. These are all macro situations. See, because even if people say, well, I'm for me, well, you can be for you. But these are all macro. Like, there's a micro, there's a macro. So even amongst all of these, like, no matter what group any of these people try to, like, say they agree with, they're going to do what's in their own best interest. And a lot of times, most black people are play the people of color route because it allows them to kind of, do what's in their own immediate best interest or group best interest. Black men are the main ones that really, well, black women lose out on that too in the long term, by the way, but black men are the main ones that lose out on that shit. I mean, even here's my thing. ADOS, here's the truth. The truth is ADOS was not created by Yvette Carnell and Tone Talks. They got that from somebody else, and then they basically blew it up. Right. So I don't like Tone Talks or Yvette Carnell. Yes, I agree with Tone Talks as far as a lot of people live on credit, and a lot of people's perception of money is credit. That's really the only thing I agree with him with. The rest of the shit is he's a very anti-capitalist. He tries to associate capitalism, like capitalism is just racism, as if socialism or any other thing, it's a power thing. And Yvette's on her own shit. She's with a white woman, whatever. And that shit boys like whatever. So as far as why I fuck with ADOS has nothing to do with them. And then Tariq Creek mainly thing he did the FBA was just because he said I don't fuck with them. So I divorced that shit from them. Me personally.
Yeah,
if anything, I come at it from a Dr. Claude Anderson economic. I'm probably what you call an economic pro-black. Meaning I look at the black community from an economic group economic standpoint.
Right.
And Yeah, and my thing is, if you a black, like take somebody like Robert Smith. Let's assume Robert Smith did not have a mixed wife at first and had kids that are black. He just had the wife he has now. The end of the day, if Robert Smith is putting money into the black community the way he did with those Spelman people, yes, you have to, you know, you have to give him credit for what he put in. And from an economic pro-black standpoint, you separate the shit. Now, a lot of people always talk about, well, what about the legacy shit? But the truth is, it's not on a couple of billionaires to help the black community. It's what is the law of averages. So I don't care so much about the billionaires marrying out. And yes, I understand why people would think that's a problem. I'm not saying it's completely ignored, but what I'm saying is you focus on the fact that 33% of black men are married, that 50% of black men don't have children, that the fact that your millennials are leaving, and that's because black women are a shitty product as a group. Sorry, not sorry, that is what it is. And so, but see, hoteps won't do that because they don't want to actually address the problem as is. Now, the way you solve that, if you want to keep it black, is you do the intercultural, dating. Meaning you start importing women of other cultures that are black. Now we start to get into the ADOS FBA shit. So versus Pan-African and shit, which the reality is, I'm not against Pan-Africanism, but Pan-Africanism is not a fucking one-way street. It's not a what the fuck can I do for you? And then when I say, okay, how can we reciprocate? You don't know how to speak English all of a sudden. You know, I want to hear what, well, I don't know, we have to give. You have fucking citizenship. That's one thing. Also, get off the fucking lease shit where I can get something for 50 fucking years so my grandkids, you can take it away if I develop it. Kill that shit, or you give me citizenship so I'm not subject to that. You know, tax-free shit. Oh, there's some shit you can do for me. I can make it work. Oh, well, you know,
the thing is,
you all have...
tribalism is natural, though. The tribalism is natural. The tribalism is natural, and we can't act like it's
well, business gets past that, though. And the question is, people either doing business with you in good faith or not. I give a shit about tribalism. My thing is, does the deal make sense for both sides?
I'm talking about an aspect of anybody choosing an aspect of their clan, their tribe, or whatever. That's what all this shit is right now. This ADOS, FBA, or whatever. The thing is, the rest of the world is claiming their tribe. I can understand why these folks are claiming their tribe, but I don't understand is why they're on some super pro-American shit as they do it, as if America ain't been a bitch to them. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, the way that they're pushing, you know, the Democrat Party and shit. And it's like, hold up, cuz. You know, what are y'all trying to make a whole nother sector to yourself or something? You know?
But most ADOS, that was Yvette. See, here's the thing. You got Yvette Tone and the people that follow they stupid ass. And that's when they try to act like that's not what they were doing all the way up until they pulled their card right as the primaries was turning into the general, because they have their own individual agenda, and the people that listen to them are too fucking stupid to understand they want to be Democratic operatives. They're too fucking stupid, because I've interacted with people and they have so much trust in them too. And I'm like, because I fuck with Tariq, but I don't trust him like that. I verify every fucking thing that any of them say. You know, I don't even I fuck with BGS. But a lot of the reason why I agree with BGS is because there's a lot of shit he said that I already kind of low key knew. He just made it. He just connected dots that I didn't feel like connecting to reinforce what I already kind of knew. It's very. I'm not gonna say it's little that he has said that I didn't know the daughters of the trade shit. But again, let me tell you the type of person I am. I'm a type of person, like, for instance, somebody approached me with a Bitcoin thing. And look, I know what Bitcoin is, but I'm like not one of these experts on Bitcoin that I can tell you every little thing. So I said, okay, let me make sure I get brushed up on it. So I took his information aside and I went to something completely different, and I made sure I learned about it on my own, completely divorced from any of the shit that was in their ecosystem, and it educated me on blockchain, smart contracts, all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. Then I went back to their stuff and then saw if it made sense. Then I made sure that I went to somebody that was going to absolutely shit on it to see if what they were shitting on was consistent with what they were saying. So and so I do shit like that, and I do that even. So what I look at is when two people can't stand each other, but they start saying the same shit, then I start to say, okay, this makes sense. Like, for instance, a lot of shit BGS says Glennon Cameron says it. Glennon Cameron's a sales guy. He's a business guy. He's not necessarily a pro-black guy. So when I hear a sales dude say the same thing as a dude that's more of a geopolitical dude say, then I already know, okay, I'm hearing multiple black people say the same thing that have similar experiences but different backgrounds. So that's what I do. So my point is, you have people that they're sheep. They follow motherfuckers off the code of their personality and what they believe because they want the world to be an excuse. So long story short, ADOS, I divorced from that. That's the tribalism thing that you said is what you're right. But when people put personality, start following motherfuckers, you know, that's when it gets stupid.
It gets really culty.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's degrees to that. But the thing about it is, black people are not really against Pan-Africanism. It's just you're gonna have to make the case as to why that benefits them. Now, if people say, well, America has been shitty to you, well, it's like, okay, that's the same shit that the Democrats and Republicans play, and they play it better. So it's like, you're not going to tell me to move somewhere else to then, and wait, because keep in mind, I have to invest. It's when you create a business or something like that, you have to put everything in it. That they're not giving us anything to go over there like that. They're getting a complete like money drip from us. And I'm look, if people want to do that, shout out to our Kathy, Dynasty Beer, Ghana Dan, there's people that do that, and I'm saying there's value in that to a certain extent, but don't act like, you know, it's like they doing what, like, you know, these countries do with white people when they come over here and they give them all these benefits and land and all this shit. That ain't what the fuck people are doing. And that's what I'm saying. And I'm saying, let's find a medium as to what can work. They don't even offer a citizenship, easy citizenship like that. And that's nothing. Oh, you know, Liberia. Anyway, that's all I'm saying. I'm all for. Like, I'll say this and I'll shut up for a minute. Look, you know, a perfect example I give them is I give the Nollywood and Black Hollywood example. So I said, when you look at the macro assets that Nollywood have, they have all those oil families, the black families that deal with the Nigerian oil. I get the politics of that, but whatever. That feeds into the Nollywood shit. So you've got Hollywood, the Chinese media market, Bollywood, and India, and then Nollywood, right? They also do a lot of productions. So we can get a lot of skills up going over there. And then now with the internet, with apps like Netflix and stuff like that, you can see some Nollywood productions on Netflix right now if you really wanted to. These apps, they can get into an American market. So we have money, we have expertise, but they have expertise too. And so there's things that you can do back and forth. Plus, they have access to a lot of the China shit too, the China money market too, which our problem is distribution. That's what our problem is, because the Hollywood people will lock us out if we do anything to piss them off. So we need to find an alternative way of distribution until we can get our own shit. And and through them, we can deal with their oil and the Chinese as well, because the Chinese don't give a fuck. It just cares it makes money, and they're already in Africa. So they're like, if we get peace, it's fine, because they're more like business. I don't care. You ain't gonna do shit to us anyway, so we'll work with you.
Oil, are you speaking of on this domestic land, or are you talking about outside of U.S. borders?
No, I'm talking about Nigeria. Nigeria's oil markets it subsidize Nollywood, not completely, but in a big way. So if you can get that's what is their foundation of why they're able to do what they're able to do. So when you have dudes with people like Kanye West and stuff like that, they can interact with those families to deal with that oil and the politics.
They was reaching so much scale, and I was wondering that makes sense.
Yeah, so my point is, when we have things in Hollywood and we have an American market that they definitely can benefit from, a black market, just the black part of it. Tyler Perry's a perfect example of what you can do with the black market. That Jordan Peele, all this stuff. You have Netflix and all these apps that connect this stuff now. And Africa is an emerging market where Nigeria is kind of leading the fray when it comes to the media type of shit. And that's an exchange. That's what I'm saying. There is exchange there. There's things they have. There's things we have. And that's the type of talk I want to hear. I don't want to hear them come over here And they can come over here. But what I'm saying is I don't want to hear they're stuck on fucking stupid when I'm talking like this. It's like they only know how to gimme. I'm like, man, you all are men. You all are not women. Like, I'm not gonna talk to y'all like on some chick where you just want to gimme, and then you say, well, what do you bring to the table? The table? What do you talk? That's how they view Pan-Africanism. And it's like they act like we rich or some shit. And I'm like, no, motherfucker, what the fuck you talking about? This exchange. Don't act like you don't know what fucking trade is. You know what mercantilism is. Don't fuck with me. You stop talking to me like I'm stupid. That's how they talk. And once they realize then they start switching the shit up. Because now they know, oh, this ain't one of these niggas. They actually know some shit. Yeah, I know about Lagos, Abuja. Don't fuck.
What would be the benefit? I mean, okay, after all this time, do you think such relations could be restored?
That's just one industry.
No, I'm saying that's one industry. We're talking about dealing with as a nation as well. Do you think the relations between their nation and our nation could be restored with so much time passed and them, being neglectful of possible, agreements?
Well, I mean, you deal with that via business. Nothing like. And this is also it's Black America's response. Like, for instance, I'll give you a perfect example. I didn't know what Liberia was until maybe I was like 26, 27 years old. I don't, as far as I'm concerned, that's a failure of anybody want to say they any pro-Black leader or anybody that wants to talk about like that bullshit. Like, it's like, okay, y'all talk all this pro-Black shit, and if it wasn't, I learned that from Dynas. Because Dynas's parents, like his situation. So it's like, how do y'all not tell us through the church and stuff what Liberia is? Like, up until like the 80s and shit, that's when they started getting fucked up by the Civil War. But we had this land that all this shit we could have did in our own turf. And here's the sad thing. If you talk about reparations from an American standpoint, America needs to get back into Africa in a serious way. And Liberia would be a way to do it. And Black people would be the fastest way to get it done. But anyway, the long story short is, you do this based on what is in people's best interest, and you take each country by each country. Like, Ghana has a situation where they wanted, up until recently, they wanted to deny that they sold slaves. They wanted to be in denial about it. Right. It's Black people can let that shit go, but you're gonna have to give people incentives to do some business. I'm not even saying give a shit. Give us incentives to make money with you all, because they have open markets that are rising markets. They let the Chinese, the Indians were in there before the Chinese, and you got the Lebanese getting them. It's better we do it than they do it, but because they want to be stupid, pick your country, pick your stupidity, and there's some things they do, like in Chicago, they've bought like credit unions and stuff, like Ghana, a guy in Ghanaian bank. So I'm not gonna act like I don't see anything happening. There's some things that are happening. BGS will say, give it time. But the thing is, we need to create more of an awareness in America on what's possible, but how we benefit. And then we need to let them know what the fuck we want, so they stop acting like they don't know what the fuck it is. That's my opinion on that.
That's not going to make them stop acting, because the thing is they engage you the same way that the pilgrim engages you, as if I'm saying you're lesser. Everyone that comes here from outside of the world, they engage us as if we're lesser right off the bat. So the thing is it's not something. It's not I don't think it's methods that we've haven't tried, to interact with these motherfuckers, cordial wise, respectful wise, business or whatever. I just think that the world got a fucking vendetta against our enrichment.
Well, then what I would ask you is, why do Black people financially support these people in our own communities? Because I don't ever see that. I don't see that real pushback in doing that. The reality of the situation is, and this comes back to the people of color shit. Yeah, we haven't tried every way. Not really. Maybe some people in certain places have done stuff, but never at scale. We've never said, look, man, if you don't need to be here if you don't fuck with us, and we're just not going to do business with you. I was looking at Fox Soul, that bullshit with the
Christianism, cuz.
Huh?
That goes against niggas' Christianism, nigga.
Well, it doesn't matter the why. It's just that they do it. you know, and that is what it is. I mean, the reality is, you don't need to be not be Christian to understand this shit, because the Western Africa, when they come here, they do the bullshit to us. You know, so it ain't Christianity that's making it happen. And shit, say what you want to about the Nation of Islam.
I'm talking about the niggas over here always patronizing, you know what I'm saying, people who ain't black, you know what I mean, or people who ain't foundational black Americans or something. Hey, that motherfucker work right there. That shit fit out of all three of them.
Well, yeah, but a lot of this is not even talked about like that, to be honest with you. This is stuff that's not really. And again, this is when you actually this is where the gynocracy shit comes in. A lot of that shit is because the women are the ones controlling the community, and the black community has a zeitgeist of a female wanting to be validated, not wanting to say this is what the fuck it is. Damn you! If you don't want to understand, then you know what? We don't need to talk. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. I'll give you a perfect example. Fox Soul, they was talking about this show was about black women being mistreated, blah, blah, blah. And the one time the woman brought up how the Asians are treating them in the nail salon, and she said black women need to, this is one time they were not on the same page. She said black women need to start supporting other black women. One chick lied and tried to act like it ain't that many black nail salons. And she said you need to work harder to find them because they there. And then the other one, they finally told the truth and said they really don't want to go. And it's funny because if you want to hear black women talk like us in the manosphere, just ask them why they don't patronize us as black women. And all the bullshit we say, they'll start trickling out of their mouths. Now we know the real, exactly. Any of you all listening in real life, ask. Do you get your nails done in a black place? And don't be judgmental about this. Ask me, nails done in a black place, hair done in a black place. If they say no, ask them why. And they'll say the same shit we say. The attitude, all that, it'll just start coming out if they're comfortable with you.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works.
Great Patrice O'Neal said women don't make good friends because women don't like women.
No, hell no, they really don't. When you take control, and you can prove that when you take controlling black men off the table, or this like hive mind of we gotta keep the black men under control, they can't stand each other. Yeah. I've seen in the workplace, I've seen in many situations. Oh, that bougie bitch. I've seen it. It's funny. Once they realize you're not a threat to their independence. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything they say is a projection. I mean, they say we hate black women, we bash black women, but you know, black women talk about everybody. Well, talk about black women worse than anyone. Period. Like, I mean, it's no contest. It's like they project everything on us and make it our burden. We just minding our business.
Well, you bitch live out of pocket, boy. That's living out of pocket.
Shit, I mean, somebody asked me why do I hate black women, but like, you want to talk to my mama? Shit, you think I don't hate black women?
Yeah, I tell people that too. Though I'll be like, I go off my own experience. You know, I mean, not to bash my people like my moms and my aunts and them, but I say I gotta go off that because that's what I'm used to. So that it just reciprocates, when I'm out in the world and I'm just, seeing the same thing. I'm like, okay, I know I'm not going crazy.
Luckily, I didn't grow up in a gynocracy. The biggest reason why I guess my family is not like a gynocracy like most black families are is, quite frankly, the women can't stand each other in my fucking family. That's really that's the biggest thing. Like, I ain't gonna lie, we got masculine dudes in there too, but at the same time, the women really can't stand each other. That's really what it is when it comes down. That's the biggest thing I see. And see, that's that girl power shit is bullshit. And they gonna find that shit out with Kamala because shit. Shit,
they gonna ride that wave for about 2.5 years, feeling good and shit. So it's finna get.
Oh well, no, not 2 years, because when that damn they gonna get really like, I say 1.5 years, because once that damn midterm come up, a lot of these motherfuckers think this election was stolen. Oh, they gonna get revenge. That's the Empire Strikes Back time. They know black people ain't gonna vote like that, and there's gonna be a lot of black people gonna be motivated to vote. Probably gonna vote Republican. So they had an article where the Democrats, a lot of these females were literally on a call, damn near cussing Nancy Pelosi out because she was like, "You told us to talk about that liberal shit and defund the police, and my friend got kicked out of Congress because they weren't feeling that shit." You lied. But them fucking Alexia Cortez and that Muslim bitch stayed in there though. So because Democrats lost seats. Democrats lost seats, and I think low key they're gonna lose the House.
Maybe they should have did what Miss Cortez and Rep Omar did. I mean, shit. That's all you had to do. You got to win.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's what she said, and you know how women are. You hear women say some shit like that. Oh, this bitch gotta go. This bitch gotta go. Like women, like.
Who this bitch think she is? All kind of shit.
let me ask y'all a question. You think the Democratic seats that were lost were because they were progressive Bernie-crats? Let me ask you that.
Yeah, because they lost the districts they lost in.
Definitely.
Yeah. People ain't feeling that shit. Like where I live in a very middle of the road zone. I live in a zone that barely went for Bush, barely went for Obama. We the Raleigh Durham area, they about they fucking money. They ain't about that bullshit. They like, I live in an area where, we prefer homeless or not seen, that shit. So people ain't playing. So you come with all that bullshit, they're like, oh no. And that includes black people too. Like and you gotta remember, when you're in the House, you're vulnerable to that shit. Because it's a district, it's not a whole state.
Right. But you got Biden anyway though. So I mean, a lot of that stuff that people don't want could happen under Barack Obama.
I mean, not really, because presidents only have executive actions have only so much power. People overestimate what executive action can do. Biden ain't gonna be able to do shit if McConnell still keeps control of Congress. Now, what'll be interesting is if they get 50-50 and then Kamala got to come down there and tie break the shit, and they try to jam shit in, because understand that they do too much shit. You already got a conservative court in there. With it, because they already jammed that chicken and conservative justice in there, and Clarence Thomas don't give a fuck. He look at Kamala, he see that chick that tried to take him out.
When y'all think the tiki torch is gonna strike?
That's like what is it? In Die Hard 3, so that's a white man with white problems.
Nah, look, it's a chick that's the vice president of the United States of America. Cause these motherfuckers, they better be silent on this.
I mean, what they gonna do? If anything, that's black women's problem. Shit, like, black men better be worried about like the Carter 2, the crime bill 2.
Yeah. Niggas shooting motherfuckers out there.
Yeah, all these niggas getting killed and shit. They like, oh yes.
I mean, well, look, the thing is, niggas don't want to call war. They'll say, "Oh, it's a war on us." It's like, all right, nigga, it might be time to call war, nigga. What the fuck? Everybody can bleed.
Yeah, that niggas pump faking, man.
It's like, wait a minute, cuz once these motherfuckers start writing loud that they can kill you, that makes it mafia. You're not dealing with no motherfucking government no more. You're dealing with white once and calling that shit motherfucking law.
Well, at the end of the day, I'm curious to see who you gonna make attorney general. That's really the thing I'm looking at, So I'm be interested, but at the end of the day, their job is to deal with the economy. Now, if he tries to jam a lot of this liberal shit down, first of all, Biden's conservative, and you can see it in his cabinet. Don't get it twisted. Like we'll see. Like I think if it's too many, when you look at Pelosi and you look at all of the Senate women, they'll try to push some shit, and he'll capitulate to the women. But we'll see. We'll see, but I think a lot of this, socialist bullshit. I think that this nigga comes from Delaware. You notice that the financial institutions ain't said shit, and usually they make their opinion heard as far as who's getting there. They like, cause they know who Biden is. They know Biden knows how to sell the blue collar shit really well. He said, "Yeah, keep your wife working while you don't fuck with our shit."
I mean, but the thing is, what are you gonna do different from any other person that been in the chair? The thing is none of them drifts away from character once they're in the seat. They all pretty much follow the same thing. So he's not gonna revolutionizing the changes with shit.
Right. It's the environment that dictates that, and that's what people need to look at, because the truth is, like, I mean, even with the stimulus package, people are like, yeah, man, we getting the stimulus, and no, because first of all, you're not even gonna know who controls the Senate until like January 4th, because of that runoff in fucking Georgia. And then so you're probably not going to get a stimulus package until maybe the first month of Biden being in there, so you won't actually get a check until probably April. Now that's too long, really, but that's most likely when it's going to happen. Now I doubt. Now maybe McConnell may do that shit early, because it's like, okay, we can't look like we a problem so we can get that seat. But McConnell was a hard negotiator, and is until January 22nd, so he controls the Senate. And so we'll see,
Yeah,
So even then, and all this automation, I mean, this, like, you see all these people hoeing it up, like sugar babies, OnlyFans, selling pussy. That shit's going to accelerate in 2021. All that, I don't need no man. Yo, you just want third world pussy. Yeah, we going to see what your bitch ass, when you got first world infrastructure, but you ain't got no fucking job. We going to see what you start doing.
Yeah, pimping is finna be very, very logical and essential.
Well, the thing is, it's the gig pimp economy. You don't need a pimp no more. You got OnlyFans, Cam Girl.
I'm talking about the development of the mentality for navigation.
Yeah, the diesel. Yeah, the diesel shit. Yeah, that's what the diesel. Yeah, oh yeah. But and you see it, and these are not just these are women that are like nursing students. With low key, nursing students are always hoeing it up. People, it's just you gonna see it.
So
hold on, you said they ain't hoes, they nursing students, nigga. You know who the biggest hoes in the world is, nigga?
Yeah, that's why I said they always hoeing it up. It's and then that slut walk shit. They'll be like, oh, but you need to not judge me, and we're sex workers. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. We're sex workers, like you a minority class or some shit.
Man.
We need rights like Uber. I don't give a fuck about that. And I Ubered, and I damn sure don't give a fuck about your shit.
Hey, we got 33 watching, 31 likes. Hopefully one of those likes is yours. If not, hit the like button, please, at this moment. Also, I have a question for the panel. Do you think the Democrats pimp black people? Like, you think is it as bad as it looks out there?
Yes.
It is.
That's all I got to say.
No, they don't pimp black people. Black people don't permit themselves to be pimped. Black people prostrate them motherfucking selves at the Democrats, man. Pimping, it's an exchange, okay? There is some exchange in pimping. And the thing is, usually it's you selling the dream to the bitch. You know what I'm saying? What dream is they selling black people? They don't even the dream.
I want to know what job this bitch gonna get. Why she get fired and get replaced by some kind of Caribbean?
She had a job like Baron Underbite.
Shit, man, she huge, man. She Joe Biden bodyguard. You didn't see her drag that woman off stage that time, did she? Wasn't playing. Like hut 1, hut 2, hike, motherfucker. Like,
well, we gonna see. I'm curious to see what job she gonna get, if she get anything. Cause she was against Biden first. She was a Bernie folks. She was like, oh, you remember you sided with that Jew bitch? Like, what? No, yeah. Nah, they like Kamala is Omarosa.
Look, they finna have a ball up in there.
Oh, I love that. Could you imagine that debate, Kamala versus Omarosa?
Oh.
I pay for that shit.
Ooh.
Because Kamala Omarosa don't give a fuck.
Hey, but you know what though? Jim Crow Clyburn, he defended Omarosa, saying any black man that vote for a man that called a black woman a dog on television, blah blah blah. But see, my whole point is like y'all can fake outrage about that all y'all want, but how many people have called Omarosa a coon in the past? So why would you even use that?
Because that shit don't. Because you're talking to black. Because you're talking to black people.
Money, whatever,
Like what you call it said, pimping people requires skill. You don't got to. You just say shit.
Right. Was she a coon, or was she about her business and her money?
Omarosa was more about her business and money. I mean, she kind of showed me that with who she dealt with. I mean, honestly, I think black people should, black men in particular, should definitely fund Omarosa shit. You know, have her start her own firm called getablackbitch.com. So every time we got a chick that want to talk shit, like Susan Rice or Gayle King, Omarosa can go get that ass. She proved that when she checked Wendy Williams ass. I said, yeah, I paid $10 a month for that shit for her to be on retainer. She already demonstrated. She be like, the only clause is I'll never get a white man. So I ain't the one you called for that. So don't ask me. But no, we just need you to get these sisters. So when Susan Rice want to talk shit, when they want to do that put Snoop Dogg on the kitty table or some shit like that, we need you to deal with they ass, because these white people don't care about them getting checked. So what army you gonna get? You gonna get an army, Susan Rice? All right, I got Omarosa. See what your ass do. Shit.
Yeah, I'm actually a fan of Omarosa though. I am a fan.
I'm not a fan, but I fuck with her more than a lot of other people.
I understand that she cares about her people more than our people are willing to admit. You know, yeah, take the emotion out of it. You know, whether you agree or not, I think she's closer than a lot of these black chicks that, you know, vote Democrat.
What's people's biggest gripe with her?
She worked, I guess, working with Trump.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Oh, but Claudia Jordan, you know, did the same shit, but nobody. She can be on the table talk bullshit.
Everybody got all this smoke for Trump. It's like, look, this motherfucker got a wealth of knowledge, and he knows what he knows. So, you know what I'm saying? She could have been trying to, around absorbing some game, getting whatever. It's like, it doesn't mean that he had her total alliance and allegiance, and she was a slave or some shit like that. Is that the way niggas is carrying it?
Yeah, because the false perception is like he doesn't know shit. He's this idiot. He's so dumb. And it's like, I mean, you know, it's just
here's what it is. When we as blacks decide we don't like somebody, there's nothing else that person can do for us, period. No matter if they got like the cure for every disease on the fucking planet, we won't accept it if we don't like that person.
Yeah, because we look, and even black men do this. They look at, do I like you or do I not like you, and everything out after that question is answered is filtered through that question's answer. It does not matter, and you see it. You see it in how black people do business. You see it how black women, black men. You see it, and you see it. I mean, it manifests in politics.
Yeah. Do you think people are? I would say they don't want to call themselves black or foundational blacks or ADOS because of the struggle that comes with that.
What do you mean?
You go ahead.
Like the struggle and the history behind it, you know, the history of brutality against us because of the color of our skin. Do you think that people want to claim people of color because it's easier?
You mean always having to explain it and shit?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it is easier. Yeah, it is. I mean, but at the same time, my thing is, if you're gonna do that, then stop arguing about black shit. Because when it comes down to it, that's not really what you on. I mean, my thing is, it's nothing to explain. People like, look, man, I'm going to do what's in my best interest just like you're going to do what's in your fucking best interest. So you tell me how you not do. Give me an example of something that you automatically not doing that's in your best, that should be in your best interest for another group. It don't even got to be black people. Go. Right. And then they can't answer that question because these are conversations that are not had. Because as much as black people talk about game, you know, this is game. This is something that's spoken but not talked about. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. You look at Cubans. Cubans always want to talk about, you know, how they were persecuted and shit. But I'd be like, okay, what about when Batista was in there? Okay. Exactly. You know the fuck I'm talking about. That mixed motherfucker that persecuted the black Cubans that y'all want to say don't exist. So when Castro, well, you're saying Castro give a fuck about? No, Castro didn't give a fuck about black people. He gave a fuck about you fucking the capitalists. But at the end of the day, the black people ended up doing better when Batista got his ass out of there, which is a big reason why Castro gained power. Castro wouldn't have gained power if really if he didn't have support, and a lot of the support was because he got the people that were getting fucked with, and a lot of people were black. And even though Castro kind of fucked with, kind of didn't fuck with black people like that, he was a lot better than what Batista was doing, and that's why y'all are here. So when y'all come in here on that Pitbull, Gloria Estefan, Cry Me a River, they kicked me out, Castro's the devil bullshit. You know, understand that some of us know what the fuck really happened. Well, how you know that's true? Because Asada Shakur is still alive down there, motherfucker. And she would have been given to the United States if that shit wasn't true to a certain extent. But see, I'm like the 1 in a million. I'm 1 in 100, 1 in like 200.
Down, or does that continue the conversation? Do they build with you, or does that shut them down?
Who? Oh no, they in the conversation. If it, usually that's not something I'm gonna bring up to somebody I actually need to do business with. But if it's somebody that I just want to shut down, yeah, that's a conversation killer at that point. Because at that point they know, oh yeah. But and I don't pull that out all the time. But yeah, they don't. Because at that point they know I can't be game. And sometimes I go along with it. It depends on who it is. I mean, if it's somebody I ain't fucking with like that, I don't care. But if it's somebody that they just talking too much shit and it ain't like it's a bridge I don't give a fuck about burning. And most of them are smart enough not to keep bringing that shit up. But because I'm light skinned, some of these motherfuckers actually think they can try me for some reason. Because they think, no, for real, because they think, oh, well, you light, so you kind of own the team. And I'm like, no, motherfucker, no. No, they think they can say a little bit more. Dominicans do it too. You're not really black like them.
Damn. That's a trip, cuz the skin color through this to motherfuckers.
I mean, I've been told a lot of people think, I mean, I've had Spanish people come up to me and speak fast Spanish. I used to work at call center industry. So, I mean, a lot of Dominicans think I'm Dominican until I talk. Then they know, oh, okay. And I've been told that more than a couple of times. Like, you know, and I've, like you go to the DR, I mean, they realize it based on how you walk and talk, but if you just stand there, they wouldn't know.
On that
I've heard that. I've been told that a couple of times.
Man.
And I ain't even asked for that shit. Like, I'm like, and then I'll have women, Mexican women or Colombian, they come in, they be like, I'm like, damn, not the slow shit. The like, that's what you grew up with shit. I'm like, no, I don't speak that shit. Well, I won't say it like that, but I'll be like, no, I don't speak Spanish. Oh, and they'll be like, oh, too bad. Like,
they see a nigga
walk up to me like I'm one of them. Yeah.
They see a nigga. They know ain't no motherfucking Haitian or from any of the islands or nothing.
Because that's why when people say, oh, I go in there, they don't see color. Like, I can't stand when black men say that. Like, oh, I go to Colombia, them, they don't see color. What the fuck? They don't see the color the way you used to talk seeing it. Like it's white and everything else because they ain't got enough white people to do that. But they got their own shit.
Who the last Haitian you seen wearing the brim? This fly, motherfucker.
Well, you know, that shit, I leave certain shit like that. That's not my problem. Like, for instance, Haitians making shit. Like in Florida, you know, I just motherfuckers are black. Y'all got people got different shit. Haitian ain't the same as Jamaican. But Caribbean ain't the same as African. You know, I respect the differences, but as far as I'm concerned, it's like that tribalism, that's on y'all shit. Just know I ain't that. Don't put me in it.
Be careful. You know, we got a half Jamaican vice president now.
Oh God.
She don't even respect her own shit. And the sad thing, there's a lot of respectable shit about Jamaicans in the United States. And she gonna talk about I smoke weed. I'm like, you stupid bitch. Even her dad had to say that, which says everything.
America is going to the toilet. Look at this shit. First they had a zebra for a president, half African, half Peckerwood.
Nigga. No, the funniest thing Trump said, that I rarely spit my drink out. But when Trump said this shit, I almost died laughing. He was like, Trump was talking about India. He said, the air over there is filthy. He just said it like off the cuff. I'm like, what? And the sad thing is, I just saw like an NPR thing where they were talking about how, you know, they're locked down because of the you know, COVID. And how they said this is the first time in Delhi that they've been able to see the fucking mountains. They said this is the first time my mother has been able to see the mountains. She's like 70 years old.
Wow.
And they said, well, we might need to understand that there is an issue with the damn air quality.
That's one thing that this shit they do for the world.
But Trump is wrong.
You know what I mean? Somewhat of a
Trump
reset.
is wrong. Trump is wrong for saying that shit. He said, "Here's
Yeah,
filthy."
bro, he real. He real. Look, that's the thing. Look, this why I thought they was gonna assassinate his ass, because I'm thinking, yo, he way too real. Anybody that's way too real in the position, they don't last too long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, they let I think Jimmy Carter was real, or you just get 4 years. You just get one term. That's what usually happens. I mean, when you
Is that why Obama lasted 8 years?
Obama just knew how to play the game. Even Reverend Wright said that shit. He said that nigga's a good politician. Y'all gonna find out. I ain't even mad at him. That's what, I'm old anyway. I'm about to retire off this bitch anyway, so I ain't even mad at him. But y'all gonna find out.
He played ball. He played ball all the way.
Y'all gonna find out.
Because you see how he was playing ball, and it's like you still had them pilgrims that was all up in arms over it. It's like, wait a minute, how nothing he doing is in your motherfucking favor? He playing ball just like
I voted for him twice. I ain't gonna lie, but at the end of the day, man, it was him and Mitt Romney here, McCain. McCain in 2000 was different than McCain. First of all, I'm not voting for no fucking Sarah Palin. I don't give a fuck how much black dick she had in the past. I'm that shit wasn't gonna happen. So in 2008, but then I'm not gonna lie. A lot of black people I know that I think about it, they actually voted for George W. Bush over John Kerry. Now that I think about it, in 2004. But I'm talking about as far as like older black people that I know. But as far as Mitt Romney, I don't got issue with Mitt Romney, but I don't know. It's something about motherfuckers from Massachusetts. I don't like it. I said, nah,
Hey, you think
John Kerry was a poor choice, man?
Yeah, I wanted the other guy. I wanted the dude from Vermont. That's the dude I wanted.
Yeah, he was cool. What's his name?
Man, that shit was not a big deal what he did. They try to make that shit. Oh my god! I'm like, what the fuck? He was hype, nigga. Like,
you talking
about shit? Like,
motherfucker.
Yeah, I was like, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, you gonna get that shit. But the thing about it is when you actually hear him talk, I mean, he's I like party bosses. Like when Haley Barbour in Mississippi, Republican, they know how to get shit done. There's a reason why they had they party bosses, because they know how to get shit done and they know all the players. And that dude was a very matter of fact. It was a doctor, but he's a very matter of fact dude when it came to shit. That other shit, he had one moment where he got hype. And the thing about it is, when you look at,
that's what killed his shit. Just the fact that he,
he got hype one time. And then these motherfuckers, and then you got Kerry, and I'm like, that's what the fuck you all get. I don't know what the fuck you picked them for. John Kerry, people ain't fucking with him like that.
Why white people like that? Like they so reserved and shit. What the fuck?
No, that's game. That's game. They know what it is. That's when there's something they don't want. They just use that as an excuse. That's that coy bullshit. So I'm like, that's why white women get on my nerves sometimes with that shit. I'm like, you niggas gonna go red pill for black women and be blue pill for white women if you want to. Them bitches will lie right to your face. And I'm not saying to date black women, but I'm saying don't. White women, they'll play a zone on your ass. Black women, they just blitz all the time. If you know it's coming, you know how to deal with it.
That's a great analogy for that.
I got this blitz for you. Like black women, they just got 3 plays they run, and they run them hard.
Yeah. That's a great analogy.
They say, so what you gonna do today? I got this blitz for your ass. And then every time they act stupid, they act like they shadow, like they not gonna blitz, like the linebackers, fall back, and then but they still blitzing. Everything's a blitz. How you? That's my book. How to Date Black Women in 2020. Everything's a blitz.
And a lot of offsides.
Yep. Hell yeah. Fucking arguing with the referees.
Oh, there you go.
All right, guys, real quick. Howard Dean, y'all.
Howard Dean was that dude.
Look at the title.
This nigga got hype. They need to have some hip hop music behind this.
Tom Harkin. We're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Carolina. We're going to California and Texas and New York and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House.
This ain't shit. Like, hell yeah, you know,
Happy
we
than the
gonna get this.
motherfucker. They killed his career.
Think about it. In today's world, this ain't shit.
Yeah,
this ain't shit. Like, think of all the shit we done seen since then.
That man, like, I saw an interview while Hillary was campaigning. He put on a better campaigning speech than Hillary Clinton when she was running, and he wasn't even running on CNN. That's how great this guy was. And they let that shit run him.
And I'm like, that's what y'all get. That's why y'all ain't got nobody to run now. And it don't look like they're going to have nobody in the next 4 years. Because y'all stupid.
Look at the smile, though. Yo, look at the smile.
Oh, God.
He was serious, yo.
Yeah, he was.
You got that nigga was like, that nigga just knew if I could just run against George Bush, I got that his ass. And I was like, damn, you just didn't get. And I know he got to be burned. He like, you let that bitch John Kerry
that night, dog.
Because he was out of Vermont too.
The motorcade.
And because he was a governor too, and that's another thing, man. I tend to have more respect for governors and senators because you got to remember, you know, you got to think about it. Well, Biden was vice, so yeah, he was in executive branch, but Kamala has never had an executive position. So motherfuckers talking about, well, if she get it, she gonna ask Nancy Pelosi what to do. That's all that is. She's an acolyte of Nancy Pelosi. The reality is Kamala don't know. I said niggas better be happy she ain't the attorney general. She'd be like, so what do I do with this job? I know I'm getting niggas. We're gonna have a war on crime with COVID. She like, that's it. See, we go to what you know. Just she only know how to do two things. She only know how to hoe to move up and lock niggas up. That's all she knows. Lay on her back.
What else is
she only know how to fuck. She only know how to fuck niggas.
Politics.
She only know how to fuck niggas and lock niggas up. She fucked Montel Williams. She fucked Willie Brown.
Alan, Alan. I don't know if I can do the Dave Chappelle skit because that might be copyrighted. Plus, you know, Netflix just got a hold of the Dave Chappelle. Chappelle show. So
yeah, I don't know how that shit's still on my CBS All Access. So
yeah, but you know, I mean, like CNN, because that was a news clip. You know, you can show that all day, but the Dave Chappelle clip. No, I would love.
They don't give a fuck about no Howard Dean clip. They like, you know what? You can have that shit.
But yeah, the Dave Chappelle stuff might actually be a copyright. Like, so.
Yeah, shout out to Dave Chappelle, man. They tried to say he was crazy, man. Dave Chappelle, like, yeah, and Netflix bought my shit. You know, he get money off. You know, they would have bought it if he wasn't getting no paper off of it. He getting something.
Look, anytime, just because he showed integrity. They want to say that was crazy in Hollywood.
Yeah. Remember they tried to pull that shit on Nick Cannon too with the first time?
Yeah.
When he left that America's Got Talent, I'm like, Nick, that was your warning right there. But your dumb ass gonna get on Griff and let Griff say that shit and not check that shit. He should have had a quick pause. He said, nigga, I'm sorry, I fuck with you, but I gotta throw you under the bus for this shit. But I'll buy you something, man. I'll buy you a car.
Nah, the thing was he was testing those waters, man, and he got burnt with testing the waters like that. And when you taking on that knowledge, that knowledge is very, very sensitive to the ears of the public, and you have to deliver that shit surgically. And he ain't, you know what I'm saying, had his cadaver done yet.
No, look, what Nick Cannon should have did, with Nick Cannon, what you do is you just start funding shit. I don't know why you niggas get some information and y'all start, not you niggas, but you know, it's same thing with the red pill shit. I gotta listen to this with my girl. Nigga, this shit is not for you to listen to with your girl, the shit we say. Then you gonna blame us for your girl leaving you, and now you become, now you become this nigga that keeps following me around. Edward, you a bitch ass nigga, da da da. It's haunting y'all. Yeah, y'all ain't see that shit. This nigga follows me everywhere. Following me and like,
whoa.
I want to talk to him.
Yeah.
I want to talk to him that one.
Yeah, let me see. I can't show the footage, but I think I can play the audio.
Yeah. My lame ass, I got into an argument with a dude online, man. He tried to tell me Jay wasn't black.
Who?
Nah, Mortal Kombat.
Jay Black.
Jay black.
Yeah, they making her darker every time, man. Shit, and ain't no black Indians. Yeah, what Tanya? What the fuck you talking about?
And she called you a nigga in a fight. She said, "Nigga, what?"
Oh yeah, Tanya, bougie bitch. Tanya's literally Omarosa if she was in Mortal Kombat. That's what Tanya portraying everybody. Yeah, they can't. None of them up. Notice how none of them Indians like Jay, like Tanya. They like this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
They made Jay fine in a
Tanya is fucking Kamala Harris. That's what Tanya is. Who Jackie?
Who's Jackie?
Jackie. Oh no, Jackie is in MK11. She's Jackson's daughter.
Yeah.
And then what they do, they make they try to turn Jackson to a bitch. So about, nigga, I done been through too much. I just can't.
They made him Karl Malone, cuz.
Hell yeah. Even his younger self had to say, nigga, I can't go out like this, man. He said, nigga, what the fuck is wrong? He said, hold on. He told Jackie, because he's like 20 years younger, so they damn almost the same. He said, no, Jackie, you move. He said, nigga, what's wrong with your ass? I'm fighting myself, man. I got this shit.
That's Jade right there in Mortal Kombat 11. Like very, very detailed, very beautifully depicted woman. And I would say she's black.
Jade is what they call it, a white woman in black skin. That's the charge.
Yeah.
Because she's dated to Jade. That's
because she got an inside track.
She featurism. But nah, man, they be trying to say, nah, she Latin. Nah, she not that dark. They made sure. They didn't have to make her that. They made sure. But Jay talk a lot of shit too, man. Jay be like, don't stare too long. When she walking away with the bar like right above her ass.
When it comes to Mortal Kombat, cause it's like you know when they do the bone break.
They made Sindel a hoe.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But my thing is how when did it stop? When did it start losing logic for when they do the bone breaking shit? And so you pretty much kill the person there, and then they bounce back. You know what I'm saying? Ready to fight and shit.
It's
a video. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a video game. That's a question an old person asked me when he was watching. I was like, well, it's a video game, so. I mean, that's marred in fantasy. I mean,
I remember somebody asked me to explain Dragon Ball Z. I said, man, if you think it's stupid, I understand why. But if you like it, you like it. Think it's stupid, I get that too. Motherfuckers fighting God now. It is what it is. You get invested in some of this shit. That's what it is. You get invested in some of this shit.
I saw it as a symbolism parody for Japanese to be, poking fun at Peckerwoods because, they get hella destructive. They turn blind, their eyes get blue, and then they start setting off hydrogen bombs.
That's funny.
But also in Street Fighter, cuz what was the American's name in the first Street Fighter? It was Guile.
Guile, yeah.
They called a motherfucker Guile. You look at the definition
John Claude Van Damme.
The seat food, all that other shit, cuz. Hey, they've been poking fun at these pilgrims, cuz.
Man, I went back and watched that Street Fighter film, and it's like they got John Claude Van Damme to play an American military person, and he couldn't get rid of the accent for shit. Like
DJ, fuck us.
That son of a bitch in Bison. That's like
I'm gonna kick Bison's ass so hard.
But Bison was smug motherfucker, man.
Yo, cuz what his name was?
Raul Julia.
Nigga, he was.
I need to go see that again.
Yeah, he was like the best cast in the film. Actually, if he wasn't sick, like he would have been perfect. Like he was like he had the mentality down, but that was like he was real sick in that film.
Yeah, he was dope as Bison though.
Yeah, but everybody else was garbage. Everyone else was garbage, man. Van Damme, like that was bad.
You ain't lying, man.
That was wrong. Who else was wrong? Balrog.
Oh man.
They made
They
like
fucked up
like,
Ken and Reed.
like
They fucked up Ken and Reed too.
What the fuck did they do with the PoC? Yeah, they did. They did.
they put the
Yeah, they
outfit
gonna
on
fuck this Mortal Kombat movie. They gonna fuck this Mortal Kombat movie up too. Sagat, I think was
they're gonna
probably
fuck it
the
up.
second dude. It was like Sagat was alright.
Sagat and Vega was alright.
No, Sagat. No, I ain't.
If there was anybody else that you could say was serviceable, it was probably Sagat and Vega. The rest of them, everything else was just trash.
Yeah.
Sagat, I ain't agree with Sagat. And the reason why I ain't agree with Sagat, I felt like that should have got a 7-foot guy to do it. But, like, because Sagat is a 7-foot guy. He's a monster.
You'll never find.
I mean, that's true, but you ain't no actor that's 7 foot and then it's gonna be built like that too. I mean, but you right.
Yeah.
They could have went taller. Say, okay, at least do 6'4". Do that. That's like usually the tall. That's the tall like metric.
Short.
The prison scene with Sagat and Vega was standing all close to Sagat. I was like, yeah, y'all look kind of suspect.
But y'all gotta remember, this is like pre-2000. This is like action era. You know, before the closest thing you gonna get to a decent action movie, fucking Blade. The closest thing you gonna get to an actual superhero movie, because anything before you had the Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man, and then it really didn't turn until X-Men happened. And then people could talk shit about George Lucas, and I get it, but George Lucas really puts a lot of the technology with the prequel shit, because that's when you saw that stuff flip too. But going back to the Mortal, I mean, a lot of it's crazy, man. Like that Mortal Kombat movie gonna be straight trash. But now everybody talk about this Miles Morales game, because it's got a black dude, on it, and I'll probably play that some down the road. But I ain't like these niggas spending $1,000 getting the PS5 on eBay. Niggas do some stupid shit.
No, I'm not gonna get a PS5 till they work out the glitch systems. Plus, it's kind of
I'm waiting till that's where people's. So now that people's stimulus checks about to go to.
Oh yeah.
When they get it, I'm getting that PS5. They put it on Instagram. Man, I'm flexing with it. Talk about these memes. Talk about you gonna let my son play? Like, bitch.
Yeah, but they made that a little social media complaint right now. About the whole PS5. People, especially women, are starting to bitch.
Yeah, I hear that too.
If your credit score is below the price of a PS5, you don't need a PS5. Like, okay,
but people don't understand that's a culture now. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole culture. So it's like you ain't stopping that shit.
No, I mean,
because it's millennials. Yeah,
but a girls' night out costs more than a PS5. Like
exactly, and the thing is, the niggas you want to fuck, you fucking regardless of what they do. So you can bitch all you want, you still gonna suck that dick. So shut up. That's all. I mean, stop acting like that's not what it is.
Yeah,
especially a girls' trip. They like to go to Mexico and shit.
They whole trips. I know what Mocha Fest. Go check out Mocha Fest at Urban Escapes. Shit, them whole trips in Latin. Talk about you niggas going to Latin America. You bitches be going to the Caribbean. You know what the fuck y'all be doing? Don't ever. I got something for they ass too when they talk that shit. Going on them fucking coke cruises.
PS5.
Hell yeah. So y'all, and a PS5 is it keeps on giving. Plus, real talk, you can look at TV on that shit. You can do a lot of shit on that shit. So y'all better get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like, and I'm not about to jump to get it. I mean, I got an Xbox One. I'm good with that for a minute till I get other stuff. So I'm not like that. But at the same time, like they get stupid on they shit. They just mad because you ain't spending the money on them. That's really what it is.
That's what it is.
You bitch say that. Yep, that's what it is. They mad because you ain't spending the money on them. That's the only thing they really care about.
But yeah, Cortez talking about the Mortal Kombat movie gonna be feminist as fuck. Like, yeah, I mean, I was hoping they didn't do that.
Mortal Kombat's usually pretty good about that.
Yeah, but like that Scorpion's Revenge, the way they did Sonya Blade, that was like it was cringeworthy. Cause
I thought it was pretty authentic to who Sonya was. I mean,
I didn't think so. I didn't think that they needed like I didn't think that character ever needed to be that way. Like being like just
like what?
Just really aggressive toward like men. Fight me like a man, be a man.
I mean, that's Sonya, but that's Sonya's always been like
Sonya
that. I mean,
but Sonya,
though. She was always super independent.
Sonya was always like, see, and the thing about it is, go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
well, it was cool. It was cool because it was only her like that. So it wasn't like this whole wave. So you're like, oh, she's a tomboy. It is what it is. But the thing about it is, and the thing why I let it go is because when you look at Jax, it didn't make it like, oh, Jax was just doing a John Boyega Finn shit. Ray, he said he was talking shit to her until she, did the G.I. Jane. I'm gonna work hard, and she actually earned it. So it's like, okay, so she had actually earned his respect. It wasn't he a white woman, so he treating her different. So but go ahead, man. I'm curious to see what your dissenting opinion on that is.
No. I was saying that the original Sonya Blade as a character, that they didn't put so much onus on her having to prove that she could hang with the guys.
Right.
She was the female character. She was more independent. She didn't need anyone. It wasn't like she didn't need a man's help. She just didn't need anyone. The dynamic in the first film, the way she was with Johnny Cage, she eventually caved into that woman shit. But the way they did her in Scorpion's Revenge, it was just over the top. Yeah. I mean, she was tough. Sonya Blade has always been tough, but I felt like that they didn't need to do that to her character.
But they did make her a general, though, fam. They did make her a general. So
they ended up making her a general, but it wasn't like on no real heavily feminist shit, though.
I think everything. Oh, so the thing is, I think everything was over the top in that movie, because there's a couple of things I disagree with as well. But like for the most part, that was kind of true to who our character was. So if they turned it up a little bit of a notch, it'd be different than if she was on some talking shit to Raiden or some shit like that, or talking shit to Liu Kang. All right, but talking shit to Johnny, and as soon as she realized Johnny could fight, because it makes sense, he's an actor, then she wouldn't respect him. As soon as she realized he could fight, she was like, okay, I could be cool. And then he's like, I knew you'd like me. And then she wrote out that. So all that stayed true to a lot of the stuff. If they were gonna do that, she was the best person to try to pull that shit up with. If you're gonna pull it, so it's one of the few times where you could see them trying that, and then it's a cartoon too. Cause it just, the problem, what the real problem is that I'm thinking about it, it wasn't, she was the only woman, so it really highlighted, it wasn't against like Katana, where Katana is on the, you a brat. That's another thing that people don't talk about. Katana is bougie as fuck. So when you look at like why Scarlett don't like her or everybody, because they're like, she's a bougie bitch. That's how they see her. And even and then Sindel is like, well, you gonna get this low class motherfucker like Liu Kang, and because Sindel's a bougie bitch too. Like that's that's really kind of low key where she gets it from. And Shao Kahn's like, I could kill you any day. It's just I'm waiting for Sindel to say the word. But he is him.
When does the aspect of royalty come into play, as far as that validating them, having such elitism about themselves, be it bouginess or whatever? They're royal.
But I think a lot of it comes from the fact that they're Athenian too. But yeah, you're right about the royalty too, because that's Sindel always saying, bow to me, worship me. I'm gonna fuck you. You're gonna be a concubine. It's funny. She literally says that. She tells Johnny Cage, you can be my concubine. She basically says she wants to fuck Jax. Jack's like, I'm an officer of the court. They made her titties bigger than everybody else in the game, where they went out of their way to try to cover women out. They said, yeah, this is who this chick is.
Yeah, they put the Soul Calibur touch on her.
That's another thing them Japanese be doing. Them Japanese don't care about the titty. Like, real talk, if you buy like Dead or Alive, you'll spend $300 if you get all the packs and everything. And you actually,
speaking of Japanese though, have y'all checked out that Goblin Slayer? I'm just saying that to the point of like they were saying that they don't care about boobs and highlighting boobs, because it's like that's what they did. It's like the little sister of the main character, all they do is highlight her boobs. She looks out the window, her boobs come out the window first.
Most of
they not fucking over there anymore.
Most of the thing with the Japanese, My question is, why they make everybody look like they got a child face though? Even in the you know what I'm saying, and they
You
boobies
gotta
thing.
ask them.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, what do you think it
Go
is?
over there and ask them.
Like
If you a brave Negro, you on that island, they going because most of them can speak English. They start going into Japanese.
Nah,
you like, what
no,
the
but
fuck is going on here?
the reason I ask is because within reality, them ain't the motherfuckers that's always doing the plastic surgery, like the Koreans. You know what I'm saying? Them Koreans, they get chopped on all the time, but you don't see anything within their culture to where they're always trying to project themselves as younger, like the Chinese or the Japanese do.
I honestly don't know, man.
You know what I mean?
I really don't.
Hey, but
because
you know what,
like,
though? You know what though? Let me point this out real quick. As far as the Japanese artwork, like all of them look like white people to me. You know, when you look at the anime, every one of them. Like,
yeah, they do that on purpose. They a lot of them, as xenophobic as a lot of them can be. A lot of them they want what's that chick on Agents of Shield? There was the main character, the Asian chick. She was Asian and white. That's kind of what they want. They want to get rid of the eyes. They want to get it like it's a couple of features that they want to. They don't want to be white, but it's a couple of features they want to get rid of. They be good.
Yeah.
And then them eyes is one of them, and you see it because that's the main thing that they always changing.
Them lids.
Yep. So I guess they insecure. That's what dropping a bomb on their ass to do.
well, that, but yeah, they also, they wanted to get rid of. I would say they probably want to get rid of the tight eye stereotype, like the whole.
They can't drive stereotype. Yeah, I'm about to fuck this up for you two.
Yeah, but look how they draw black people. They draw black people real dark skin. We got donut lips.
Yep.
We got bug eyes.
Yep. Or the character gets evil. It turns darker when it gets evil. Something like Zuko and Naruto. That motherfucker literally turns black. Literally. Yeah. It's like, cuz, really? Can y'all do something else to show that something has ill intent, whatever?
It's funny. I'm not like an expert on that stuff, but I watch what I watch. Yeah. I play what I play, and that's it. But I'm not like, I'm playing this next game. Like there's certain games that strike my fancy. Like Mass Effect, I was into. I played the Star Wars, that last Star Wars game that they came, not the Squadron, but the. I played that, but the other one that came out, certain when they made both of them were black. The black woman was fucking with the dude. She was black, and then the old woman that just fucked up. She was black. That's funny. But one thing I give credit for Mortal Kombat is they got quite a few black people. Even Cyrax is black. They make sure, that nigga black. Yeah.
Yeah, but they had a lot of black. They had a lot of black failures throughout the game too.
Garrus is black.
Yeah.
Let's see. You got Garrus, Jax, Jackie, Jade, Cyrax.
Darius.
Well, who remember Darius though?
Darius. Yeah, I remember Darius.
Darius was very plain ass guy. I mean, I don't even know what his part in the story was.
Kai.
No. Yeah.
Kai was like 3D era.
Kai was African or something.
Yeah, Kai was a protege.
Please.
Well, that's how they tried to play it though. But
that's the 3D. Long. That's the 3D era, man. A lot of that shit. There's a couple people in the 3D era though that I like to see. I like to see the vampire bitch. I like to see Havoc.
Natara's gonna be in the movie. I guess that's why They probably just tried to get another female character in there because
that movie's gonna be a piece of shit. Let's just call that what it is. I know James Wan is directing it, but it's gonna be a piece of shit.
James Wan, the same guy who directed Dragon Ball Evolution.
No, is he?
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, James Wan's got a lot of good movies, but see, the problem is
Fast and Furious though. He's Fast and Furious series, so
and he's got the whole horror shit. So it is what it is. But that movie's gonna be a piece of shit. I can see who's in it. They're not taking. And the thing is, Mortal Kombat. I don't know. The thing about Mortal Kombat is if you're gonna do it, you need to have great choreography. They should get Michael Jai White. Michael Jai White ain't really jacked. But the problem is, it's really something y'all just make it a fucking cartoon and be done with it.
They should have got the guy who did Mortal Kombat Legacy Season 2. I'm talking about the director and the fight choreographer, because that's like been the best Mortal Kombat I've seen.
Yeah,
just make it a cartoon and be fucking done with it.
Yeah.
Like certain things shouldn't be movies.
The whole Liu Kang being the evil thing, that I felt like they pulled that off pretty well, and it was over some pussy. He was over with some white girl, man. He hooked up with a white chick. That was
Said I told you about going to America, you dumbass.
And then
They got this disease called simpery.
And then Kung Lao seemed like he was kind of funny, but he was stuck on being a monk. So, you know, that jury's out on that one. But that guy, that same actor, he did real good in I think it was John Wick 3. Yeah, it was John Wick 3. Yeah, the same guy was in John Wick 3. You know.
What was the song? What was the song that made him start whooping ass in there? Relax. Was it Relax?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because that was him and his girl's that was Liu Kang and his girlfriend's favorite song. So
that
in the bar scene in the beginning, man, he beat the shit out of them dudes.
Look, them Chinese or them tri-ass, they did everything except call them nigga, dog. It was like, I'm like, what the fuck am I watching here, dude?
But it was so dark though. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think they captured Mortal Kombat. But see, that guy was actually gonna direct the film. The guy that did Mortal Kombat Legacy Season 2, but they dropped him. And he was saying that, you know, creative differences. There's always creative differences. That's what happened to the first director of the new Doctor Strange film, the Multiverse of Madness. They said that he was trying to put stuff in the film that wasn't Disney. You know, he was going to
because you trying to make it too dark, and it's like, you know, the fuck you were from. But I'm glad you brought it there, because that brings up another female. Like, when you look at how to do this shit right, if you're gonna do it, like, I think Elizabeth Olsen's character Scarlet Witch, the way they kind of had her gradually get her powers up and gradually get stronger, you know, people can accept that, and I think that movie would do well. I think you'd have like a lot of younger women that would see that. You kind of play the Disney princess bullshit, because you know it's Disney, kind of low key. And then I think a lot. I mean, dudes would be like, "Yeah, I'll check this shit out." What you do is you bring another person in, you know, give dudes an excuse to see it. But
speaking of, let me bring this up real quick before I forget, because you know we way off topic, but. But it'll kind of get back on, because you know we mentioned something earlier about us writing our own stories and controlling our own narratives, and you know the direction of characters, at least that are black. Since we're talking about Marvel, what about the movie coming up, The Eternals? Like, it could be a great film. It could be a great film, but one of the main narratives they're pushing is Brian Tyree Henry's character.
The gay motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I mean, you know, they got to check those boxes. I'm telling you, I probably won't see it for that reason. That'll probably be one of the first Marvel movies I say fuck it.
Is it the black character too?
Yeah, a character that was never gay in the comic book, but they decided they gave him a husband and a child.
Oh my God, it's disgusting.
My thing is, if you want to push the LGBT agenda, go ahead and push it. But why you got to push it? Use black people to push it. Like, we 10% of the population, but it's all. Let me tell you, I know why they do it, but I want to ask that.
I mean, I feel like they do it is because if they wrote original stories, nobody would support it, not even their people, because their people don't even like the caricatures being presented like that.
No, I'm talking about why do black, I don't know, I'm talking about why is it always got, because it's everywhere you see it. I mean, even in Black Lightning, you see it. You're talking about I'm talking about why they got to use black people to do it. You know, that's my thing.
Yeah, they're going with this template as far as they handle black guys in media right now. If he's heterosexual, he's weak. He's weak and he's submissive. He's either submissive to the good guy or submissive to the bad guy. Batwoman is an example of that. With Luke Fox's character, like he was a weak black man compared to the main character of Kate Kane. Or, you know, you got that movie, The Old Guard, something like that on Netflix.
Oh, we know it. You can even look at John Boyega's character. Here's the truth, though. Yeah. The truth is, that kills me with that is, like, yo, these bitches are still fucking black men. Like, when are y'all gonna give that shit up? Because until y'all make, as long as you got sports, it don't fucking matter what y'all do. So because I would really want to ask him, like, what the fuck you really think you doing when you do that? You really think you helping people out? Because with sports in real life, we find out what the fuck it is. So that just really makes non-black men look even weaker, because it makes it like you're overcompensating. You know what I'm saying?
They use like I said, if they created original stories with gay superheroes, people wouldn't buy that shit. Period.
Well, I'm not even saying they got to do that. I'm just saying stop race switching black men with that. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, they need to stop. Yeah, they need to stop that shit with black men. Need to be we need to position ourselves to be able to control our own stories, though. You know, so they'll stop doing that. Because if they got the creative direction, it's pretty obvious what they're going to do with it. They're going to make us weak. They're going to make us gay. They're going to they're going to make us like. And if we're heterosexual, we're going to die first. You know,
God damn.
Yeah, that's pretty much right. That's
like Mr. Fuck Hollywood. That's like, I think that's number 3 on his list.
You know how you christen a ship by taking champagne and throwing it at the hole or something?
Yeah.
That's how they do with these movies. They say, yeah, we're about to break this movie off right. Where's the black dude at so we kill his ass?
Throw a dookie.
That's how they do it. That's how they do it. Shout out to Blood of Zeus. They didn't do that in Blood of Zeus, thank God. Yeah. They called that nigga Coffee. What's your name? Coffee. Oh God. Okay. I guess it's worse.
Yeah. But hey, let's get back on topic. The people of color thing. What behaviors do you usually? And I'll explain this because I know I ask questions and I expect everybody to answer. I'm going to answer my own question first. Like, what do you see in the behaviors of people who consider men, black men especially, who consider themselves people of color? I would say that 9 times out of 10, these are people who display they don't care what happens to black people unless it happens to them personally. You know, like if they hear about, and I'm not saying this, I'm not describing the sellout is different. Like, okay, let me give you a real example. Kamala Harris locked up black men for weed. Right. And then they turn around and say, well, they shouldn't have committed no crime then. You know, same people when the TV say it's okay to scream Black Lives Matter is saying the same thing. Right. You know, that's what I call a person of color right there. You're not apathetic. You should be empathetic, but you're apathetic. Unless but if your brother goes out there and then the police shoot him in the head and kill him, then you care.
Right. So to you, that means black means something a lot more resonant to you than it does to the average person then.
No, I'm not saying to me personally. I'm not going to say I'm blacker than your average person, because a lot of people will say that and don't be.
No, not necessarily blacker, but the fact that if it means something deeper to you than what it does to the average person that you encounter, it is what it is. You know, your value system might be a little bit more rich with it.
I believe that you should be consistent with your blackness and not use it as a virtue signal.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You know, be it all the time. Don't just be it when, you know, when like I said, when the TV say it, here's the thing. Kamala Harris wasn't black until this year.
Right.
It was until this year. She tried to kind of play it during her bid for the presidency, you know, until Tulsi Gabbard tore her ass up, because Tulsi Gabbard destroyed her, and I thought she was finished then. But when Joe Biden chose her as his VP running mate,
wild card,
yeah, she became black.
Yeah,
she became black instantly, and then the funnier thing about it is we instantly accepted it.
We who, nigga?
Some of us. Some of us. I couldn't accept it. I couldn't accept it. That's why I didn't vote for Biden. You know, I mean, well, I didn't vote for Biden based on Biden. You know,
right.
You know,
well, I don't vote, so you know, I
didn't vote for Trump either, but I didn't vote for Biden. I still voted. Like I said, I got heritage tied to that. You know, when you're from Montgomery, Alabama, and you've been through what a lot of my family members have been through, it's kind of a given. I mean, it's something I can do, at least. You know, it's I understand, culture, but I do respect.
I can dig it. It's culture.
I do respect people who don't vote. I used to. I didn't at first. I was like, well, why do you not use your right to vote? You can't complain, God. But yeah, if you live in this country and you live in this condition, you have the right to say anything you want, whether you vote or not. And because see, here's the thing: when based on what I've seen, how people behaved in this past election, seriously,
Yeah.
you're telling people, please use your right to vote because people died for it. People marched for it. John Lewis got hit upside his head, so you can do things like that. And then when they find out that you voted differently than them, then all of a sudden they hate you. They want to attack you.
Use your right to vote who they're voting for.
Yeah, it's like going to church with bitches. Why are you a bitch if you're in church? Like it's. I mean. It's like I said, because of that, I've dropped my whole thing. Like I will vote, but I don't care if no one else does. Period.
Damn.
Because I mean, it's like the way black people behaved over Crime Bill Biden and locking them niggas up Harris, I can't roll with that anymore.
You had a paradigm shift over the lack of integrity.
Yeah. They were convinced that Donald Trump was the worst possible thing in the world, and I've seen worse. It's like if you look at Donald Trump, and if you're
odd how he was hated. It was very, very odd how he was hated.
It was hot. He was more funny than anything. I felt like he was a court jester in the king's house, but I mean, but from the way a lot like. There be blacks that say he do a damn thing for blacks, but I'm like, he got a following, and he got people that say that he did stuff for blacks. I mean, do you hear those people out, or do you call them coons and move ahead? You call them coon and move ahead. Right. I mean, it's like one of my senior relatives. One of his thing was, let me see. One of his things, okay, with Ice Cube, he thinks merely talking to a Republican about anything is a betrayal, but will turn around and say something like the Democrats only talk to black people every 4 years.
So wait a minute, paint us up in the corner.
I mean, like, no. I think most black people are painting themselves in the corner with this logic. It's like you complain about politicians and Democrats talking to black people every 4 years, but every time you see Trump in a picture with a lot of black people, you're calling those black people coon instead of trying to hear them out. Say, oh, what the man say? Well, what the man in power say? I'm telling you, you'll never see that with Biden.
See, that's the thing. The thing.
And you see who Kamala's already surrounding herself with.
Yeah.
I mean, she was black in the election. Now she around Mindy Kaling and everybody else is in there. So I mean, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't shock me. It doesn't disappoint me because I didn't expect anything from her in the first place.
No, this is gonna be a super fiasco. So.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna sit back. But a lot of let me ask you a question. Do you believe in the doom and gloom scenario? A lot of freedom of speech of black men is going to be attacked because of this, because these girls are going to be energized, like supposedly the white racists were energized by Trump.
Oh, definitely so. Yeah. Look out for it, because the thing is the thing. Okay, so that gender shit is going to be on 104. You know what I mean? And it's already over, for over 70 is too much. So it's gonna be 104. You just might. And this is the thing. Hoism. That's like Ed was saying. Hoism is finna go up. They're finna start really putting themselves out there, image wise. Like.
Yeah, because she want to legalize prostitution.
I saw that, and it's like, wait a minute, this energy that's coming forth. I'm telling you, though, is all the
Did you say she's going to do it?
She wants to do it. Like going to do it is another thing. A lot of them Bible Belt politicians don't want none of that to happen. So
yeah, that's gonna be a very interesting reality. I mean, shit, get ready for Wild Wild West saloon style, cuz.
Yeah. It's gonna be Yeah, it's gonna be something else. Like
It's gonna be a civil war along with a whole tsunami, along with a along with a motherfucking economic shift and drop the shit. All the stars of chaos are aligning for this motherfucker because it's here to be.
but see, let me introduce you to a little bit of logic. You know, hoes be like, okay, OnlyFans, I don't need a man, blah blah blah. But aren't their fans men? So ultimately, they will always need men.
Well, it's about
because the men. Say what?
They don't. But they said that they don't need a man. They said they don't need a man. It's direction. So because the man direction equates as control to them.
Well, they need a man's money if their shit is
their own motherfucking self.
They need a man's money, you know, so they can't truly call themselves independent. It's like what I'm getting at is common sense. It's common goddamn sense.
So that's the issue, nigga. What you throwing begging bitches for common sense?
See.
Ain't no common sense with these bitches.
Yeah. Shot myself in the foot with that one. Common sense ain't so common. It's not. It's sad. It's sad that common sense ain't that common these days, especially with so-called strong, resilient people.
You better get used to the idiocracy, nigga. Come on.
Yeah. President Camacho is on the way.
Get ready to be like a circus.
Oh yeah. About 15, 20 years. Like, yeah, I mean, it takes about 15, 20 years to just see the results. Because back in like early 2000, you know, I was hearing a barrage of females talking about, I need me a thug. A thug is the only one that can do me right. You know, people in 2020, they call it incel talk, which, you know, but that's what they were really saying. And I guess they still saying that. And now you're seeing the results of that shit. Bunch of bitter ass women complaining on social media and a bunch of big heads in prison at 14 because they shooting up neighborhoods and snatching purses and shit because they ain't got no direction. And a bunch of 13-year-old girls with their bellies full because they ain't none any goddamn better.
And look at the men of reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's a sad, I mean, we joking about it, but it's a real sad fucked up result that comes with that kind of mentality.
Yeah.
And sitting up here telling us we're just bitching about it, you know. I got a child. I don't want her involved in that shit, affected adversely or directly.
Yeah.
Shit, like it could be as simple as her going to the grocery store. It could be as simple as any of y'all family members going to the grocery store.
Right.
And then, you know, instead of them coming back, you get a phone call or a knock at the door because of some nigga shit that could have been prevented if we just started, you know, getting some standards about ourselves and our community.
For some reason, it's eroded. The standards, morals, and integrity is, for some reason, it don't resonate to folks.
Yeah. And we got either people who stay in the shit, condoning it, justifying it, perpetuating it, or we got this group of people that get away from it and act like it ain't their problem, you know, by labeling themselves a person of color.
Right.
Yeah. Let me hug Ahmed and say that's my brother right there, instead of Christopher Johnson, who's my brother that's married to the white woman, because I want to be a person of color and I want to look at that guy as a sellout to his race. That's how people of color think. Like, seriously. Ultimately, at the end of the day, yeah, we are people of color. At the end of the day, technically, we are people of color.
No. But if you say people of color, you are setting the paradigm from the Pilgrim's perspective.
The paradigm from the Pilgrim's perspective.
Yeah, because color is a variable. It's presented within that phrase as a variable.
The understanding is a political term that's you know, that pushes us off to the side.
Yeah, you said it.
Blacks. Okay. Well, just checking.
You said that.
Just checking. Just checking. Just checking. Okay. All right. I did that on purpose. That's not me trying to damage control and then it's just saying some different shit.
I get you.
But it's like just make sure we're on page because I sign up with what's most common to me. I've been like, even though, like I said this in another video, I look at a black crayon and a brown crayon and notice I was closer to the brown crayon than a black crayon, yet I was being called a black person. I understood that meant something to be called a black person.
Yeah.
And
the thing is, we created the value of blackness because at first it had no value. It was just a designation due to, the Pilgrims self-perceived or appointed whiteness. You know what I mean? So in the aspect of black, it's really just the political thing. But the politics of black have been bought and sold out by the earlier generations. So you do need something else to interact with because there's no value in blackness.
Okay.
The ADOS or the FBA, whatever.
And for those people that might be watching this broadcast later, it's like, y'all still calling yourself a color? Oh my God. No, we're implying the meaning. Right. So take it from that because I hear all these pro-tep videos about, oh man, you're calling yourself a color. Technically, you're not black because this is black right here.
That's what I was going to say. The Moors, man. The Moors paradigm is serious, but go ahead.
I used to study with them, and I understand their perspective of it. But my thing is the people who set up the statuses to be changed and everything. The thing is, whatever you send to them to be changed in your reality, it has to be approved. So in an aspect of whatever you call yourself, they are still having to approve you of being that. Be you black, Moorish, Hebrew Israelite, nigga, Kemet, whatever, space person. These niggas got these doubles got a motherfucking approval.
Hey, what about let's talk about something else. What about when they associate blackness with wretchedness?
They who?
Like black people. Us.
Yeah, go hand in hand.
Yeah, here's something I used to hear growing up with people, who were usually sensible people, but then when their switch is flipped, they would call it like they'll give it this label. They made the black come out of me.
I
was like, all right, well, you just let us know what being niggerish is, because that's all what you're talking. You're talking about being niggerish. You're black already, sir or madam.
Yeah, a lot of people hide from their niggerisms. You know what I mean? It's my thing is I love the whole aspect of Daguerrean because the thing is that's the smoking gun. It tells of the history, it tells of the present, it tells of possible the future if shit remains the way the thing is. You know what I mean? So it's like, look, how is the motherfucker treated? They call you African American. Do you feel like an African American? Is the American part respected? Is your citizenry respected? Whatever they said, this is the new thing that you're supposed to be. Nah, the fuck it ain't. Still feel like the same old nigga shit that you've been encountering with these motherfuckers since day one. So it's like to call yourself whatever just due to the politics and shit. It's like you still got to take into consideration the reality of the cultural perspective of the people you're engaged with. It's not all about the politics. It's not all about the forms, violence, and all that all shit. So you're dealing with nature with these motherfuckers as well. But that never comes up in the bureaucracy report.
Yeah, well, let me, speaking of politics, you know what? Speaking of politics, you know what some of us would do?
What is that?
You know what people of color would do? They would talk about Barack Obama. They would say he's the first black president. That distinguishment belongs to him, no matter what. Don't take it away from him.
Okay.
But when you start talking about all the things he did specifically for blacks, then all of a sudden, he was America's president. All of a sudden, he America's president. He ain't black president no more. He America's president.
And you know what America stands for? White. For real. You overseas? I remember when in the military overseas in the sandbox and shit, and you talking some of them Arabs and shit, and they'll tell you, we don't have no fight with y'all. Our fight is against your values.
Yeah, by the way, that's a future broadcast. Barack Obama, America's president.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they would say, "Oh man, but he could play ball, man. He know how to play ball."
Yeah, March Madness. He filled out the brackets. March Madness.
A nigga on that one. Okay.
I had a discussion the other day with somebody that said that Barack Obama didn't need to do anything except get elected. I mean, I've had that conversation several times with people. The fact that he was a man of color and that he got in a position that was basically an undefeated streak for white men, that's all he needed to do. And then I tried to tell this person, I was like, look, when you do that, when you make that the standard, like all he has to do is get elected, he doesn't have to do anything for you. He's going to put his focus on. You just made it a lot easier for him to put his focus on the people he was put in place for in the first place.
Exactly.
You know, you didn't put his feet to the fire. You didn't make him responsible for reparations.
The Democrats don't sell the dream because they never have a dream to present to them. The people just prostrate themselves and fall the foot down for them every time.
Yeah, that man didn't have to do anything for us because we didn't ask. I was all he had to do was get elected. And then we complain about the white dudes that don't do nothing. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Pick another battle. In fact, why don't we just start, making our own surroundings better? The one that's local to us. That shit, as far as I know, all that shit's on TV. I mean,
with that. When it's time to beautify the hood, nobody want to help with that shit.
Hell no.
They want the city to do it for some reason. They don't want to do it themselves. It's like that. Nobody want to get off their ass and help out the place that they say needs help.
I mean, we have neighborhoods full of talent, but we carry those talents elsewhere. I mean, I understand getting paid for something. I understand that completely. You can't live without money, not in this society.
Nah.
I mean, but you imagine how much more prosperous we could be if we kept everything localized, all our talents localized. You know what I'm saying? Because they like I said, all the other groups have figured this out. But we want to be people of color instead of black folks, instead of ADOS, instead of foundational Black Americans. Do you think like people starting to call that a race hustle though? The ADOS, foundational Black American.
The thing is, they have a point, and that's what makes it not a hustle. It could be a hustle, could be, you know what I'm saying. But the thing is, they're able to hide this shit really well. They have a point in the context that they present, and the fact that they present, especially ADOS, the motherfuckers stay on the information. You know what I'm saying? Stay bringing the numbers, and once you start crunching the numbers, you pretty much the major bones with that one.
Did they have? I hate to cut you off, but did they have any statements or anything regarding the IQ like black man?
Tone did, and he actually had Cube on there, and he actually went against Cube shit when he first dropped it. But you know what I'm saying, he played politics the right way. Cube went on there. They had a build and everything. So you know what I'm saying, ADOS is the motherfucker is consistent and stern and they're moving forward with that shit. Foundational Black Marriage, I haven't really heard too much about them. At all, both of them, I think Foundational Black Marriage actually has the correct contextual phrase to utilize, because in an aspect of dealing with culturally singularly or culturally singularly, whatever, making yourself into a one people, whatever, and presenting that to this motherfucker. Foundational Black Americans understand that they deal with all kind of other Black Americans and everything. To single yourself out like that, that should seem like it would be effective if that's what they're trying to do. But the whole race hustle, I won't say so much in ADOS, but with I don't know, Tariq. To me, Tariq gives off as hustler like that. So I don't know for what the fuck he present. Whether he, macking bitches, or, niggas selling black Bibles or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? His shit comes off as it's a hustle. I don't really see it in the heart with them. I just see it in the heart with Toenail now, you know.
Okay. So you said it's just like just a battle for prominence. Just to stand among the gods.
Well,
Yeah,
I think they first start out doing it for the people, but then once you get deeper into the politics, you have to play that political game, and that political game is always smooching. And you know what I'm saying, the motherfuckers just rubbing elbows with, you know what I'm saying, the heel now. So
it's more about a name.
Yeah, if you're gonna do business with them, you're gonna do business like them eventually. So, and this is the United States of fucking America we talking about.
Hell yeah, right? It's not like
how much integrity do we expect them to be able to maintain doing business with these motherfuckers? Some shit is gonna have to fall by the wayside or whatever. And an aspect of it possibly being a hustle is not on the Black Lives Matter tilt. You know what I'm saying? Like Black Lives Matter, they ain't nothing but a straight up hustle. But the foundational Black Americans and the ADOS, thing is they got a gripe. They got viable gripe, and you got to hear them out. And then they start presenting data. You got to further hear them out. It's what it is.
So is there room for more of these kind of, sects to start coming about, you think?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know what will be the next one. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, it will happen.
Shit, I'm just thinking now. That's a good question. You got the Hispanics. We got Leva Longoria. She out there fighting right now. Shit.
I heard something for
What was that with Eva Longoria? She said something about black women, or what happened?
It was seeming more like about the Hispanics, something about the vote, like y'all can't just, the Democratic Party can't just credit the black woman, for voting for the Democratic Party getting Biden in. Like, we played a role too. Like, Me Too, the Me Too thing going on.
I mean, well, shit, see that shows you who really holds the Democrats' future. You know what I'm saying? The fact that they have to play politics to that degree where even, the essays are starting to feel slanted. It's like them motherfuckers been receiving way more than the black community, but because they might not be included in there, they feel slanted. So,
well, you know what I call the Democratic Party now, though?
What?
The Black Man Hate Party.
Okay.
Yeah, they hate black men. I mean, shit. I mean, you got Simone Sanders, you got Kamala Harris.
Well, they're just feminine. There's a thing that
you got Maxine Waters.
Values. So
I mean, it's just not the ideal setting for a black man.
No,
it's not ideal for black men to vote.
It's like
do what you want with your vote. Do what you want with your vote. I ain't got nothing against that. Just like I ain't got nothing against people who don't vote. But my suggestion to black men, if you do vote, vote independent. Neither one of these parties have your interest in mind. And, I can't stress that enough, but the way people are just acting over Joe Biden.
What does voting independent do? Like, what's that?
What's voting independent do?
Yeah, I don't vote. So,
I mean, you vote for the person closest to your interest.
Independent. Oh, okay.
But you don't vote.
So it's not an independent party. It's just that the person is classified independent, or what?
I mean, I'm just saying independent means just do what you want with your vote. You ain't gotta be loyal to a party.
All right.
You ain't gotta.
I see what you're saying.
You ain't even gotta vote for a person. You can vote for a policy.
Yeah.
Is that if the people don't, if none of those motherfuckers align with your values, don't vote for any of them. Yeah. But I wouldn't vote for neither one of them motherfuckers. Yeah,
I feel you.
Yeah, but I see he dropped off though. Oh, there he is. Yeah, but like I said, I ain't got nothing against anybody that doesn't vote. I ain't got anybody that feels like that the Republicans and the Democrats are actually gonna save them. But it's just I'm reacting to how black people had reacted to other blacks based on that shit. You can't tell me you died. You can't tell me people died for something and then you just turn around and act like that. You Biden and whoever can kiss my, you know what? I mean, I mean, Biden is president elect, so you have to kind of be careful with that now.
See, the thing is, what do you think black folks think they vote cost? Because they got to think it costs something. It just ain't costing what it's supposed to be costing for the overall benefit of the community or whatever. But what do you think they think it costs? Because they think they getting something from it. What the fuck you think they getting? What the fuck you think they getting?
They're getting the chance to pay homage to the people who died for them to be able to do that.
That's the only reason.
That's the that's the main basic. That's like I said. That's the reason I get every time somebody says they don't vote. Here comes people talking about there are people that died for you to be able to do that. There are also people that died for you to exercise the freedom not to. You know.
I don't know. That whole vote for the two, that's an evil shit. It's like
I think it's just the illusion. You know what I'm saying? And especially like as far as voting for them on the positive note, thinking that they get something, because you be the same people that be crying on Facebook talking about, man, my taxes ain't come yet, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like shit ain't really changing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Facebook would destroy your sensibility. Because you see, like, even you come to if you go to a black Facebook space as a sensible person, you won't leave a sensible person. And I'm living proof. Even if you create the space, it still won't be like that. The people that come in there just and it's like it's hard to really just say a lot of things because you don't want to take away people's freedom of speech.
Yeah.
You know,
you don't. It's like what you think. Like you voted for this person. Now you're supposed to get your taxes when you want them. You know they come out at a certain time. If you ain't get your W-2 yet, you gotta wait. They want the mail to the mailman to push faster. Like they're mad at the post office.
So their vote is a deeper trust in the system, no matter how the system presents itself. Then just a deeper blind trust in the system.
It's insanity. Everybody's insane.
You know
the definition of insanity, and it's something that we will not depart because we want what we want. That's it. We'll die not getting it, and we'll still be looking for it. Even in the grave, we'll still be looking for it. You know, it's just it's miserable crap. It's miserable ass crap. I mean, but I mean, it's on us whether we want that crap to change or not. I mean, truly, it's like if people gonna hop all over me because of Joe Biden, then I'm just like, okay, then it's like you value an opinion over a human being easily any day.
Right. So the thing is perhaps maybe we should be taking a lot more people's humanity into question. Perhaps we ain't been questioning black people's humanity in the right, you know what I'm saying, lens.
That's exactly what we gotta do. You're right.
Because it's like to not be able to take into consideration the humanity of the situation, and it's just some blind ass voting despite whatever person you vote did, you vote for it did something that's against your specific sector of the society. And you know what I'm saying, it's like worship. It's really like worship, and it's like I'm not down with worshiping whatever it is y'all worshiping on top of the bullshit that you worshiping. I got you worshiping these motherfuckers.
You right though.
That shit's crazy. This is bizarre.
Yeah. It is worship. What I saw this past week was worship.
Yeah.
That's not even an exaggerated term in this case.
Nah.
Is ridiculous. Joe Biden, what's so great about Joe Biden? He's not Trump, but why you acting like he's so great? It's got to be a reason. Why
you celebrating like it's the OJ verdict?
Man, Man, I was in college. And I was in college, and I was at the McDonald's around the corner. There was some white business folks. You know, they were working in the downtown area. Wasn't too far away from it.
Yeah.
So they were eating at McDonald's for lunch. We were as college students eating McDonald's for lunch, and there were TVs, and they had it on the OJ verdict. And when they announced that verdict, man, the white folks got up and walked out of there. God damn it!
They was mad as hell.
They were mad as fuck.
They
When we
was
got back
mad
to
as fuck.
when we got back to the campus, man, there was dudes like they went to the grocery stores and bought up all the OJ and handed out on the campus. The gas station, a little quart, a little half a gallons, man.
So they be for everybody, motherfucker.
Yeah, come get this OJ, man. Come get this OJ, y'all. Man, OJ ain't never championed black nothing.
No.
He was just a black man that did stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right about that.
All right. Shout out to Goldie Jones, Bijor 454, and Soul Alchemy.
Peace.
Information Man was here earlier.
Peace.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah,
Shit's ridiculous.
I mean, just unplugging, and it's like, let me just, play the observer. What was those? What was them aliens in Marvel? That was just the Watchers. Play a
the Watchers. Yeah.
Play a Watcher. See how this shit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Yeah. Don't be the Watchers in the Space Punisher universe, because that means that you're dead. You died a bloody death. You can't just watch. You wasn't just watching then, but
No, we tell you about 87 cosmic Spider-Man shit. You know what I'm talking about?
That guy.
Yeah, well, you in the mix.
You know what I mean?
We don't want to be in the mix on that, but yeah, just stand back and watch, because it's like you think we need to let Darwinism take over. Just leave and just see what happens.
You have to by this point, because the thing is, it's a madhouse. You can't. The only way you could correct the madhouse is with a bomb. you can't use logic. You can't use rationale. You can't use just soothing music. You got to either use drugs as a form of manipulation, or you got to kill the motherfuckers. Imagine if in the asylum, everybody in the asylum was whacked out and off their motherfucking meds. What you finna do? You finna get all of them they meds one by one while the other one is going crazy and shit. How you gonna watch your back, whatever. Shit is too volatile. It's very, very volatile. So the best thing to do is, go monk mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, this shit is like Gotham Asylum, man.
Yeah, I mean,
too many jokers running around this motherfucker.
Yeah, that shit. We had jokers. We have a little bit more order up in this motherfucker. They're not jokers. They gestures.
Yeah.
This shit is a bad fucking circus clown show, dog. And none of the clowns is funny. None of them.
So have y'all received any reactions from people y'all know about the presidential election? Like, did y'all receive any negative reactions? Do you associate yourself with people like that?
I mean, that's everybody in my family. But thing is, they already know my stance with votes.
All right.
Joe
Biden. Oh man.
Yeah, I got some of it. I got some, especially from my old man. He was like, he tried to get slick with me. He's like, you don't put all your stuff on the front line. You got to put it background. And he was just saying that because he heard some things where I post some stuff about Trump and blah blah blah.
Man.
So he was just taking shots at me and shit. Being that he likes what Biden got going on as far as like the Green New Deal and solar and stuff like that. I mean, I like the solar too. I've been doing some work with that, so I'm interested in that. But I mean, I was with that whether we had Trump or not. You see, I think on Trump's behalf, from what I heard in the speech, he was saying we not exactly there yet, 100% there yet, to try to put that much funding in something like that, which I respect, because me being in the field, seeing it myself, there's a lot that go with it so far from what I heard.
You work on wind turbines?
Yeah, shit like that, panels, solar fields, shit like that. So
having to do that.
Hey, that's one of them hazardous jobs, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That's
You
why I
make
see
little
Trump
money.
is saying we're not there yet because it could get crazy. I had a guy, a foreman that I was working for. He ended up going to Ohio, and we had got word. I'm in South Carolina. I was at a site. We got word that he had got electrocuted while he was out there.
Yeesh.
Messing with one of them wires. So he something like that. He cut the wire. I don't know why he would do that, but they say he had ended up cutting it. And shit, he got sent to the hospital, man. Like it was real bad.
Yeah. That's how many votes? How many votes we talking through that?
Whew, probably like 1,000.
Yeesh.
Yeah, so he was like lucky to even,
He
immediately
lived. He lived
unconscious.
that. He
Yeah,
lived.
he was lucky to even be alive, like immediately unconscious and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse too, man.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. So, it's stuff like that. As far as the policy wise, like you guys was mentioning, it's up for grabs. It's not really like, you gotta cry and celebrate for one of the two. But it's like, we gotta do something. It's like as far as these movements they're doing, create your own lane too and go with the flow. So me and my dad, we trying to get into that too, because solar is the new thing. We finna start a new little business on the side with that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, definitely keep you in the Rolodex when they get some property. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm. All right, we got 1920 watching right now. And I'm seeing 38 likes. Hopefully one of those likes are yours. If you're not, please press that like button. The topic was ADOS FBA versus people of color part 2, which I might have to change the title of this because it kind of went in quite a few directions. But I think we stuck to the subject for the most part. There was some quality conversation as far as the topic itself. Yeah, but also just a reminder to the audience and those who watches the replay on demand that I will be here tomorrow night. Also, I haven't figured out what the topic will be yet, but whatever it is going to be interesting. But as in saying that, I'm here every Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. So, yeah. So.
Well, long live the habitual line stuff. It was a pleasure building with you brothers. Y'all have a good night.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, man, bless. Thank
All
you.
right, Rogish. Thanks for coming by once again, good brother. And go check his channel out. I did post his channel link in the chat earlier. But his channel is called Rogish the Buildmonger. Yeah, we're nearing that 2 hour 45-minute mark. So Absalon, do you got any final statement? I'll go to the final statement right now.
No, not really. Just basically, great job. Great topic. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing more work from you and building with you guys, man, and learning some things from you as well.
Word. Yeah, and also it's myself, it's Roger, it's Donnie, you of course Roger.
Yeah.
And we also there's also this guy Dark Skater 7 and also cool with Sister George as well, from the breakdown.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so we're the habitual line steppers. So if you hear that name anywhere else, who are these habitual line steppers? I just offered the clarity right there. So it's myself, Roger, Donnie from You Ain't Shit for Watching, Sister George. Not the breakdown, a woman's perspective, that's their channel. But Sister George, she's with us. And Dark Skater 7. So
okay. Gotcha. That's what's up. I'm gonna definitely subscribe to the rest of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Check out my community tab on this channel because I do have all the videos posted. Other people too, like Dennis Sperling.
I'm subscribed to Dennis. Yep.
Yeah, and Dr. Dunbar. Yeah, those are pretty good.
Dunbar. Yep. Familiar with Dunbar as well.
Yeah. Check. Yeah, they real good content. But as far as the topic, okay, this is my final statement. As far as the topic, I choose to like I said, I choose the one that closely associates with me. Really, I can't really consider myself a person of color because that puts me in a group with everyone else. Not saying that I want to be special or anything. It's just is what it is. I'm connected to a struggle that should never have been ignored or ever have been taken lightly. And I don't feel like that there has been a complete resolution to that problem. And a lot of that, may be the fault of the quote unquote ruling class, but a lot of that is our fault too. In fact, you could say at this point in 2020 is most of us, especially after what I've been seeing these past few weeks. You have a black man come forward with a plan specifically for blacks, and you got blacks turning against him for it. It was that kind of like that hate thing that we talked about earlier. Talk about how you can't go back to your neighborhood once you make it a certain point. And a lot of people were saying that about Q. They were saying, oh, he just want to save his money. That's why he went and talked to Trump. And I don't know how many times this man has explained himself, but I've said it numerous times. And at certain points, you want to, you get tired of explaining shit to stupid folks. I mean, that's about as harsh as I can put it. I'm not a person that's good with sugarcoating because I just sound inauthentic and phony. And I'd rather not sound phony, especially when it comes to my people. I feel like that this is a conversation that, if anything, should be had by black people, period. I mean, whether you feel a certain way or not about it, it's just that it need to be us. I don't care about people in particular that's saying that, oh, other groups can hear these conversations. Well, you are the one that needs to be listening because it involves directly you. I don't say this shit to be petty. I don't. I say it because it's on my heart, and a lot of this stuff that these guys in this space talk about is on our hearts, and we have to express it. And one thing is that I'm tired of this separation. I'm tired of this little division. I already got tired of it, seeing it in just every way, shape, or form, whether it be like neighborhoods, streets, cities, gangs, fraternities, is church, even church denominations. You're all praying to the same God, but you think your religion is better than the other religion. There's always some splintering of some type. And this right here, the splinter of the race is one of the dumbest splinterings I ever seen. And I just thought like to let my people know how I feel about that. And like I said, tomorrow night, I'll let you know how I feel about something else as soon as I figure out what that something else is.
I'm pretty sure you'll come up with something that's, well worth it, because you're doing a wonderful job, man. You're doing a great job. All you guys are. And like I said, I'm learning so much. So thank you so much for having me on once again, man.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome anytime you want to come up, man. For real, we have a pretty good, stable environment. At least we try to establish it. We do have little surprises like last night. Edward, I thought it was funny. I didn't know. I thought old boy was just kind of trolling. I was like, the internet tough guy thing. I'm just I don't react to it like I'm just like, I want to kill you. It's funny to me that someone would actually I can't see, smell, touch you, man. Don't. Yeah, all that shit talking. That's funny. That's like a movie script. So I mean, so that makes it all in fun to me. No hostility, no me wanting to see somebody die, especially like with all the division that we got already.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah. So I mean, y'all go ahead with that person of color shit, because if y'all want to be included with Mindy and Becky and Karen, y'all gonna be included with them because they don't like you anyway. You're always talking about a politician that care about you and all this other stuff. You're trying to align yourself with groups that don't care about you.
Yeah.
So I mean, make a decision. Make a decision. You gonna be consistent or you gonna bullshit? Look like bullshit right now. But
yeah, it definitely don't look like they at the table. That's one thing. That's one thing I hear. That my dad likes to illustrate a lot. He said, "Man, if you ain't at the table, you're on the menu."
Roger's in the chat. So I was wrapping it up, but if you're gonna come up, I'll go on for a little bit longer. So
Shout out to Roger, man.
Yeah, let me go ahead and drop the link in the chat. Yeah, I did him like that one time. He was ready to end the show, and he was like, "I came up, so karma." Yeah, there you go. But yeah, man. But yeah, we need. I mean, I don't ever want to see some shit like I saw with Biden. The whole Biden victory. I mean, it'd have been okay. He won president, but it's like black people still hopping on black people about this shit.
Yeah, that's what they're doing, and it's a lot of my people. They've been struck on that too. They said, well, Trump, he was against those boys in New York when they with the Central Park and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, because I don't want to argue, based on I'm getting so much information learning. I'm like, well, it's always two sides to that coin. If I'm a businessman, I'm thinking, I don't want them niggas out there around my area neither. I'm close to messing around. I got people that live out here that's probably jogging. And we wasn't in that, situation in a condition where we are now. Whether it's still fucked up, don't get me wrong. But back then in the 70s, it's not like we were so high and mighty that, he didn't have a right to come out there with those statements, because those guys didn't have a right to be in the park in the first place. From being like from a logical perspective, if you're thinking like that.
But that was just, that was just political shit though.
Yeah, and that's political shit at the same time. It's business. I got a business.
Cause I told everybody was mad at the Central Park Five back then. They know the boys were innocent or not, and everybody hopped the same them boys guilty bandwagon because a woman was victimized. That feminist shit was strong back then. Like seriously, like y'all think it was strong now? It was strong back then. They were having women's marches, all alphabet marches, nationally televised, doing all that weird stuff. Like that's not something new to 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. You're new. Premium Network. What's going on?
Oh no, man! I work chilling. Running class.
What's up, man?
Yeah, you guys just randomly popped up in my my little suggestion box on YouTube for some reason, but I saw the title and ADOS versus FBA, without fall, and I kind of fall on neither. I just feel like where's the money really gonna come from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
And also it's like my thing is like, let's say my grandmother got raped by a white family or a white person, right? And then like today, the white person who raped my grandmother's family came to me and was like, yo, I know what we did was wrong, but here's a check. All is good. Going about your life. We even now. It's like all the things that we've been through. I don't really see like money really being like the balancer. And also, if we do get the money, would that like set all their wrongs right? Like, if we get the money, can we like no longer say, okay, the white man's the devil? Like, the white man, they're innocent now because they gave us money. Like, are we still gonna complain? Are we still gonna march and complain and talk about slavery and Black History Month if we get the money?
Oh, we still gonna.
That's a good question.
I'm gonna say this. That should never be discounted. Nothing that's ever happened to us, no matter how much money we get, should ever be discounted. And I do agree with you. Is like if you're not trying to affect or change policy, then why are you marching? I think marching at this point is a waste of time. Complaining or whatever. You're gonna have to be more. You're gonna have to offer a little bit of clarity on that. But I do understand where you're coming from. Marching at this point really doesn't do anything. We need to be trying to change policy. Yeah, and we need to be trying to chase the money as well. But, we should never, ever, ever discount our experience in America. I mean, nothing is because of slavery right now, except for the success of this country. So, there are still corporations that are benefiting from slavery right now. That doesn't mean that you can't make it in this country. It doesn't mean that at all. But like I said, like have a respect for the history in a way to not be dismissive, because you still got people that remember how bad that shit was. Like we ain't been, but in 2020, y'all calling Trump a racist, like he was Bull Connor back in the day, or Andrew Jackson. Trump was just a sideshow. Like that wasn't real racist right there.
Yeah, and like some of these young men, like I'm 26. I was born in '94, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like like we haven't lived through the Reagan era, the Nixon era, FDR era. Some of these dudes never lived through the Bush administration or the Clinton administration, or lived with these presidents where he wasn't allowed to be in the Denny's, he wasn't allowed to drink from the same water fountain. These presidents let all that slide. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And like, to me, they don't really bring that up, or they don't know, or they don't really care to bring that up. So it's like, systemic racism to me is like back in the 50s and the 60s and the 40s, and way back in the day, we couldn't even be like, we pretty much had to make up our own communities and our own shit to survive. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's systemic racism. To nowadays, we can go wherever we want. I can go to any Denny's I want. I can drink through any water fountain I want. I can apply for any job. I can live anywhere I want. You know what I'm saying? Racism is still alive, but the thing is, though, like, life is bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, to this day, there's no white man alive that's going to stop me from what I'm trying to do. But in some people's minds, it is vice versa,
Well,
right.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. It should never be used as an excuse.
Yeah.
And to add on what you were saying as far as like the money aspect, what are they going to do? You right too, because it's like, are you going to incorporate that into some type of structure, whereas you're going to make the dollar circulate more in the community or the community, as they say? Are you going to be able to set up some type of incentives, for people to start getting into or learning certain things, like banking stuff, savings, giving people something to look forward to and to get something back, rather than just, okay, you're going to give the money out and then what we're going to do, just give the money right back?
Yeah, because like us as a people, we don't got our own brands of television. There's no African television company. There's no African phone company, service wise or brand wise. Like,
in Africa, probably.
Yeah, but in here though, like Africans in America ain't buying TVs made from Africa or created by Africans or created by our own people in this country. So like, we get all that money that we're going to be getting from the white man, but we're still going to be buying iPhones. We're still going to be buying Samsung TVs, Maytag refrigerators, houses on white land, cars made by Europeans in this country. You know what I'm saying? So like, we're like what's the plan once we get it though? Because we all not gonna and become like a huge Justice League of society.
Well, I did also mention earlier that every time we acquire talent, we take that talent somewhere else instead of keeping it in our community. There are plenty of talented individuals in our community that we do that to everyone else's benefit and not our benefit. So it ain't like these people don't exist. It's just that we do for others, and I do understand people, chasing that check. I do understand that, because you can't live on hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if we could somehow keep that productivity in our community, we could do great things. But we are not conditioned to do that. But Roger is up here, my habitual line stepper brother. Long live the habitual line steppers. You there?
What's going on, gentlemen? How y'all doing today?
What's good?
Hey, Roger.
All right, long live the habitual line steppers. Man, I'm just checking in really, because I didn't really hear most of the show, and Then when I was asking for the link, somebody gave me a call, so I kind of phased out right there. But since I just heard what I just heard, I'm gonna say yeah. As the black community, we definitely need to learn how to nurture our actual talent. You know, because we are the best at everything pretty much, and because of the situation we're in, I believe we have to be the best at everything. We have to be the best inventors. We have to be the most creative and things like that, or we wouldn't even be where we are right now because there's so many things that are really against us, especially us men. So I don't personally believe that people are even as inventive as us because we keep trying to figure out better ways to do stuff that we're actually doing. I think it's been that way since slavery. You know, I know, like you think about something like the cotton gin. Who made the cotton gin? You know, I don't know who's accredited with it, but you can't tell me it wasn't a black guy. You know what I'm saying? Because who's trying to figure out how to get around the situation?
Yeah. The invention of the cotton gin is not the best example because it extended slavery for decades. But nonetheless, it was. They say it was Eli Whitney, but it was one of Eli Whitney's slaves. So.
Well, yeah, I mean that. I'm not gonna say it extended slavery. You know what I'm saying? Might have got us out of slavery quicker because of the productive level that might have led to the economic issue between the North and the South. But my thing is,
no, it was a certain kind of here's history. You can verify this. It was a certain kind of cotton that couldn't be picked. Like it was two kinds of cotton, and one of them could be picked just simply by picking it by hand, and it would mess up the slaves' fingers. So they were going to actually end the cotton industry because they only had one way. They were going to let a lot of the slaves go. But when the cotton gin was invented, it got that cotton that the slaves couldn't get, and it extended slavery for decades. That's what happened.
Well, that's a shame.
That is a shame.
So they still had to pick it, but just not in that much abundance like that.
Yeah. They still had to pick it, but it was two different kinds of cotton. It was cotton too small for them to pick with their fingers, but that cotton gin solved that problem. So it's like the cotton industry was really big in the South. It was really big in the South. It was there. It was the economy.
Yeah, but my point is though, even if that ain't the best example,
hello.
At the end of the day, black folks was trying to figure out how to work easier, work smarter, not harder. That was black people doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we've all mentioned this before. A lot of these inventions that's used in modern day were by black people. Period.
Oh, absolutely. So but nowadays, and because of we bought into white supremacy's plan for us way too much. Instead of nurturing our talent, we almost shoo our talent away.
Yeah. We pick at them. We make fun of them. They have a crazy idea. We tell them they're crazy instead of saying, hey, let's see what that thing can do. We do that. We're the first ones to do that. We let other people tell our people they're talented. And they carry their talent elsewhere. We're conditioned to treat like, I don't know. It's like buying like a Daewoo TV from Walmart versus buying what's the real good TV? Samsung from Best Buy.
Yeah,
you
but the thing
look
is,
at the Daewoo from Walmart as the black person.
Yeah, but the thing is though, like most of the times though, our talent has to be validated by white people though. If you want to be a rapper, you gotta go to a white music label or a black subsidiary record label like a Cash Money, but they're under Warner Brother, or a G Unit or Aftermath or whatever the case may be, but it's under Interscope, MMG, but it's under Def Jam, and it's like also with sports. Like we don't have our own basketball league or football league. So now Lord Jamar said, Eminem, he's a guest in hip hop. We created it, but the thing is though, like if you want to play that game, then black people is a guest of basketball because white people created basketball. white basketball teams are ran by white people.
Well, let me say this real quick, because I wouldn't even really use sports that way, because entertainment is white supremacy approved. You know what I'm saying? Any nigga can be an entertainer, whatever shape, form, or fashion that is. White supremacy don't have a problem with a nigga dribbling the ball, a nigga throwing the ball, a nigga grabbing the mic in any shape, way, or form. Because as long as you can entertain, you cool. And our culture is cool. I'm not going to even say it's because of who's running the industry, because that turns into some certain financial things, and because of how certain people got locked out of certain things. But at the end of the day, white people approve of black entertainment. When it comes to intellectual property or inventing or being creative, being a writer, that's not elevated as much in the black community as it should. Now, if you're a nigga that can entertain, because that's how them white folks looking at it. If you're a nigga that can entertain, you're fine. But if you can do something beyond entertain, now you're a whole different type of problem. And because we take on those white supremacy mindsets, that we don't encourage the people who can do stuff that's beyond entertainment. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. We're not even doing it ourselves.
I agree with you, but the thing is, I feel as though white supremacy, it does have a hold on our entertainment, but I feel as though right now is the LGBTQ's time to rise when it comes to entertainment, though, because I feel as though white liberalism is more in control of the entertainment, you know what I'm saying? Because they're the ones telling people what's racist and what's not racist. You got people like Chelsea, what's her name? Chelsea Handler telling 50 Cent, "Oh, you're black. You can't vote for Trump." And you shouldn't approve that you swap the people to both of them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you can lose your job if not agreeing with certain things. You know what I mean? White supremacy. It was like, okay, we're not gonna have black people on television. If we do, they're gonna be doing degrading stuff. MTV came out. It took them years to have black people entertaining on MTV. To me, that's white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? NWA couldn't even get on MTV, but they could let Osborne bite the heads off of bats and, you know what I'm saying, rock people worshiping the devil and stuff like that.
Wow, you have an 80 cents even though you're 26.
I watch a lot of YouTube. Like,
yeah, I say that too.
We were pretty ruthless in the 80s. Like, I would say that we didn't cry as much when somebody said something on TV. We just clapped back. So you're bringing up a lot of yesterday's points. So I get that. Well, white supremacy owns the national platforms, and they let certain groups slide while black people can't slide with certain things. And I do get that, but and I also get what you're trying to say as far as we need to come up with our own shit if that's the case. But we can't play the black white supremacy card in some aspects and do what you just did and not play it in other aspects. It's like it's something that exists in all aspects and it affects what we do and how we live every day. And what I will agree with you on is that there are certain things that we can do to be proactive to make it not suck so much. Yeah.
Well, and let me throw this out here. Now, when Robert Smith went ahead and paid the school bills for the guys from Morehouse, and then he ended up extending that to their parents' college debt if they have any. That's the first time I ever heard of Robert Smith. Now, my thing is, that's the first time most of us have heard of Robert Smith. So we do not really elevate our greats the way we should. And I'm not mad that I just heard of him when that happened, because I'm glad I know who he is now. I'm not mad that other people know who he is now. But I'm just saying it took him to do that, and for people to have a backlash because he did existed. So we don't really elevate the people we need to elevate as much as we should. That's all I'm saying. You know, if you are entertaining in some shape, form, or fashion, you will be elevated. But we got other people outside of entertainment that should be elevated as well. That's just my point on that.
Yeah, I agree, and I like to chime in too as far as like the aspect. You know, we don't have to count in the fact of like a lot of these movements, and you know, let's say for example, with all due respect, like the LGBT movement or whatever. It's like, you know, not all people, from what I'm learning and understanding, not all people that were considered gay or homosexual or lesbian, not all people are a part of that movement. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying we should be, you know what I'm saying, like doing business with them, but it's open for discussion. And if you a part of that, you know what I'm saying, as far as politics or whatever business, you know, that's still something that's on the table as well, too. So, you know, it's not like we can't utilize, you know what I mean, certain things for what is out there to do. We have to come together on some type of term. As far as like if you're talking policies and stuff like that, you're gonna have to meet at the table with some of these people, regardless, in my opinion.
And I'll say this: the LGBT community. I mean, at the end of the day, they barely exist because there ain't that many gay people. Now, the fact that they have taken control in situations involving entertainment, yeah, very soon you're going to see a gay person or a trans person or whatever on just about everything that's being produced. So based on their representation, they're going to get very much represented. But my thing is, take that representation, let's pay attention to what they did, and let's do the same damn thing. Because at the end of the day, I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't say nothing bad to say they shouldn't exist. They are people too. It's not their fault that other people didn't take advantage of the situation the way they did. So they got smart and got organized, and now they pushing that shit like it's damn near everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere you go, you're gonna meet a gay person. How often do you even come across a gay person in life? Now I live in Chicago, so you know what I mean. Now, I'm not saying I ain't met a gay person I didn't know they was gay, because every gay guy is not flamboyant. Every gay woman is not not some stud lesbian type chick. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's possible to see them and not even know it. But I'm just saying, in your regular, everyday, average life, there's not that many of them that you can even tell. You know?
Yeah.
But they did take control of what they needed to.
Okay. Yeah. But the thing is, though, like the powers that be in the entertainment world or whatever, it would never be a day where we as people can do that, though, because they'll rather have the LGBTQ community promote themselves on those platforms than us come out, you know, because like look at Tyler Perry for example. Like, how many black people do you know watch that on a regular basis? You know what I'm saying? But like we get fed the House of Pains, we get fed the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the Bad Girls Clubs, the Love and Hip Hops, and like we don't even have shows like Mauritius like anymore.
We don't control those platforms.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. Yeah, we don't control those platforms though. The LGBTQ, like, they got more stake and value into those avenues, like right there.
Yeah, but the point is, we got to worry about the stuff we control. You know, so social media is where black people don't really push something, because we control this as much as we can. Because even with this, we're still using other people's stuff, so we're going to have our limitations. But at the end of the day, unless we are smart enough to fund other people who are going in that direction, then we're going to keep getting the same shit. My thing is, we can't complain about how somebody else is being smart with their agenda if we're not going to be smart with our agenda too. That's all I'm saying. I can't get mad at a gay person for existing and pushing his own agenda. I can't get personally mad at him because he wants everybody to be gay, if that's what's in their mind, or they want to represent themselves in every movie and every television and things like that. Why wouldn't he?
But that same person can get mad at anybody for not agreeing with his lifestyle though.
I mean,
Yeah,
but
but
y'all
you
gotta.
got
My thing is, we gotta stop it. Don't let them bully you. Now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I see it in the forms of them trying to bully people. Like, well, you should let me do this. No, I ain't got to let you do nothing. You can live your life, but I don't have to agree with it. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know how to take that type of stand. You can live your life. I got no issue with a gay person myself at all. But you're not gonna force your lifestyle on me. That's where we're gonna stop.
And also add on to that though, like they make up so many words, like the word homophobia, that's a made up word. I ran across somebody. I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan and player, right? So I was in a
We
little
were just talking about Mortal Kombat.
Wait, what?
We were talking about Mortal Kombat earlier in the broadcast.
yeah, we were talking about Mortal Kombat for a while too.
Like,
You missed that.
Me and you, and all of us could talk about Mortal Kombat for 2 days or 48 hours. I love Mortal Kombat, right? So I'm a part of a fan page on Mortal Kombat for Facebook, right? And this guy, he was gay, right? So he was like really like flamboyant with his stuff, and I guess one of the other people or somebody else was on the little comment whatever that he made in the little fan club on Facebook. And then it wasn't even like derogatory towards the gay guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was just like, yo, this is a place of Mortal Kombat. Why are you trying to bring all that gay stuff into like the whole fan club? You know what I'm saying? This is just strictly, purely Mortal Kombat talk. It ain't no gay
He must have
talk.
been posting pictures. He must have been posting pictures of Scorpion and Sub-Zero kissing.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I hate that. Like,
yeah, and also, I saw them going back and forth on you know what I'm saying, on the little comment section. So I hit him on the comment section. I was like, yo, listen, I ain't trying to come at you, and I ain't trying to be disrespectful, but like, you call that dude homophobic. Can you explain to me what does homophobic mean? I ain't trying to argue with you. Just put me up on game. You know what I'm saying? Like, really teach me something. What does that word even mean? He couldn't even tell me. He was like, oh, look it up. Oh, I was like, look it up. So I looked at the word phobia, and the definition of the word phobia means to have an unrealistic fear or something. I'm paraphrasing. And like, I told him the same thing. Yo, that's what it really means. The dude was like, no, it doesn't mean fear of gay people. It means this. But the thing is, though, like, they take things and make it and like remix it. You know what I'm saying? The rainbow doesn't mean LG. Like, if you read the Bible, I know there's a lot of black atheists out there, but if you read the Bible, right, it's like when God rained down 40 days or 40 nights, and then he stopped it, and to show that he stopped it, that's where the rainbow comes about. Like, again, I'm paraphrasing, but like, I told him, like,
I said clearly, the rainbow was a marker that God made a promise that He'll never destroy the world through rain again.
Of course, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. And so I told the dude, like, yo, the word phobia means to have an unrealistic fear of something. And, like, for me, I got arachnophobia. I'm scared of spiders. If I see a spider on the TV screen, nigga, I'm moving across country. You know what I'm saying? That's how much I really do not want to be close to. Like, I remember my brother trying to, play pranks on me, try to put on 8-legged freaks and shit like that as a kid. You know what I'm saying? But like, I told dude, like, yo, what you're saying doesn't really make any sense. He just told you this is a place of Mortal Kombat talk. So why you coming to us with all that? What you all about? You know what I'm saying? And like, they put a lot of remixes on certain stuff, and they're trying to like.
But the thing is, this is the thing. When they start doing that, you got to stand against it. The problem is people don't stand against it because people had this term homophobia, right? Now, what does phobia mean? Phobia means the fear, right? What does a homo mean? Homo means to be scared of something like toward itself. So to truly be homophobic, I would have to be scared of myself. Now, when it comes to gay people, who is homophobic? Because even with the term, the way they trying to use the term, they say like you got a problem with gay people. Who is scared of gay people? Nobody. No one has a realistic
irrational fear
of a gay person. So at the end of the day, it's a word that makes no sense, and the only reason it has power because people let it have power. And my thing is, when people bring nonsense to you, treat it like nonsense.
The thing with that is like same thing with feminism. The only reason these females in Hollywood got the power that they have right now to shut anybody down is because men give them that power. Same thing when in the entertainment industry and sports and music. Like the powers that be give them that power.
But it's not even just the powers that be. What I'm trying to tell you is people start accepting it. Because like I've heard women say plenty of times, feminism fought for this and feminism fought for that. Okay? Now what is the reality though? Because that's a nice thing to say. If you're a woman and you want to feel power, that's a nice thing to say that women fought for you and won something for you. Feminism has done nothing for women. And that's the reality. It has done nothing for women. All feminism did was ask for stuff and men gave it to you. Feminism has nothing patriarchy didn't give it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Feminism has fought no wars. They've won no battles. They've shed no blood. They've taken control of anything. So the only thing feminism is the gifts that patriarchy allows them to move with. And what people need to do, instead of accepting nonsense from a bunch of feminist people, just don't take it. I tell that to any feminist who talks to me or engages with me. The only thing you can do with feminism, what us men say you can do. The patriarchy that you're so afraid of, the patriarchy that you're so against, we allow you to exist.
Same thing with Black
If we don't
Lives
want you to exist, you no longer exist.
Yeah.
Because you ain't fought for anything.
And also, like, if you look at some of our, like, the gang members, like, across the board, 9 out of 10 times they was born in a feminist house. The woman was the house, the woman in the house that was getting paid through the state. Most of these, of our men was raised by women under that whole feminist mindset.
Well, that's what I say. My point is, me at some point, you got to stop accepting nonsense.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to accept it in a conversation, next thing you know, it's going to be in a policy. Next thing you're going to know, it's going to be in some rule. And you're going to be living by it.
Well, I feel as though, like, you know, as far as, like, individuals who know, or individuals, like, it's instilled in them that they know it's not right. But when it comes to the masses, you know what I'm saying, that's when they're really going to have more control over, though.
But I'm saying the reason you get to the point where it goes to the masses is because when the stuff is brought to us as individuals, we start accepting it. You know what I'm saying? If you raise your kids under the fact that feminism does nothing that patriarchy doesn't allow, feminists don't sound like anything. Yeah, but we're not teaching our kids that. We allow our kids to get other definitions. It's women right now who believe feminism fought for something and won it for them.
Hey, you know, there's women that believe that they wouldn't have been able to go to college if it wasn't for feminism.
Yes, there's people who believe stuff like that.
That is an argument that they actually make. If it wasn't for feminism, I would not have been able to go to college.
And like a feminist, like, main argument is, oh, well, your mom's a woman, your mom was a black woman, so you should keep the same.
Your mama black.
And again, they have done nothing that some man didn't approve of.
Yeah. And their father is a man. So what are you really saying? Like, okay, my mom is a woman and my dad's a man. Like, I got a black mom and a black dad. So do you treat every man on the street the same respect as your father?
Well, they don't believe they have to. But like I said, a lot of this is because we, as the general public, we make things socially acceptable. Yes, people try to push an agenda, and I get it. But my thing is, why do you let them push it by you? You can't push that stuff around me. I'm going to make you real uncomfortable because it don't make sense. And you can't make it make sense, so therefore I ain't going to let you have it.
Yeah, but you know 2 + 2 is 4, though. Some people
exactly.
Know, but some people don't know 2 + 2 is 4. Some people think 2 + 2 is 5.
But that's because their parents allowed them to think it. That's my whole point about us as the general public. Yeah. When we start allowing stuff to be socially acceptable, we let other people train our kids on nonsense. And next thing you know, you got a generation of people who don't know the difference.
But like, I think it's more than just the parenting. I think it's the whole environment. You know what I'm saying? There's so many stories of like of children coming up in a Christian household or a Muslim household, but the environment got a stronger hold on them, whether it be, oh, this is what life really is, or hey, a perfect example, AR Rab, he's a rapper from Philly. He said on Black TV, oh, my family, they raised me to be a good Muslim, but outside everybody was getting money, everybody was selling drugs. That's what I really wanted to do because it looked fun. So like I feel like it's more than just parenting. It's all about environment and where you're at, man. Like I mean, you could teach your kids 2 + 2 is 4, but like if you got your friends telling you 2 + 2 is 5, your teachers telling you the same shit, TV's telling you the same shit, it's like it gets to the point where sometimes the kids get swallowed up by the whole entertainment system, and like get swallowed up by TV and cartoons is getting crazy out of hand too. If you ever watched the Wild House.
Yeah, but the parents let them watch it. The parents let them engage with them. The parents let them engage with the neighborhood. The parent lets them engage with all this stuff. And because parents are too loose, in a lot of occasions, you start having shifting dynamics in a society. It's because people don't want to parent their kids.
But the thing
my
is,
kid can't. Now, but like this, I don't have no kid myself. But if my kid lives with me, which that's what my kid gonna do, because I'm the parent, you're gonna do as I say, period. If you can't do what I say, you have to leave.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know
what?
Yeah,
exactly.
but you know what though? Yeah, but you know what? But you know what? Like, but the reality is this though. Anybody can be a parent though. Cats can be a parent. Spiders can be a parent. Any piece of shit low life can be a parent. You got some parents who ain't strong enough to teach them that because society say, "Oh, why you teach your kids like that? Oh, your kid don't got a cell phone. What kind of parent are you?" And like,
no, I think I see where you're going with it, but I hate to say it like that, but I think it's the other way around from what I heard it's kind of like it's more simple, like anybody can make a baby. You see what I'm saying? But
yeah, okay.
you know, not everybody can be a father or a mother or a parent. You see what I'm saying? Those are something those are like, you know, attributes and stuff like that. That's like people like tangibles, that stuff that people learn and they're, you know, it came down to them. Is like the other way around, just making a baby. Then I see where you're going with it. Where as far as then you be kind of leading the blind. You see what I'm saying? So it's like how Roger was saying. It's like, you know, it's being a part of that child's life, you know, and implementing certain things, you know, to whereas they know right from wrong and know the decisions to make.
Well, I mean, but see, this is my thing, because I understand where you're coming from. Now, and I totally get why he's coming from that. But my thing is, when it comes to a society, I'm talking about the people that's 18 and above that's still alive. When it comes to society, those people controlling the society. Those people are going to do things based on their beliefs. A lot of stuff that people can totally move in a different direction of their parents. That's why you have people that was raised as Christians become Muslims and all type of other examples. So that can happen. But at the end of the day, if the child lives with you, it's your fault. I get what he's saying, but my thing is somebody's got to take the blame. So why is this stuff be able to become socially acceptable over time? It's because people weren't parenting the way they should be.
Yeah.
That's why. It ain't the TV fault. You know what I'm saying? Whoever trying to make a dollar putting whatever crap on TV, that's their agenda. But your agenda is supposed to be the one followed in your house.
Yeah, I used to hate when people used to use like things that came on TV as an excuse to why they fell short in raising their child. You know, especially with music too. Like, you know, they used to blame video games because kids would get violent with each other, like games like Mortal Kombat, or you know, they blame Beavis and Butthead for kids setting shit on fire. You know, it's just like at one point or another, parents gonna have to decide to be parents. Period.
Yeah.
But fellas, listen up. I am tired. This conversation was getting better and better, but I'm sorry, fellas. Here's what y'all can do. You're all like premium. You're always welcome to come back.
I'm subscribing. I'm subscribing for real, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
like
that
dead
is
ass, like
what's
dead
up.
ass, like dead ass, like I was like scrolling through YouTube. You guys just live stream just popped up on my feed as a recommended type of thing. I was like, okay. I always get like random recommendation. Like one day I got a recommendation of some volleyball female with a fat ass. I was like, yo, what? Like I don't ever watch volleyball. Like how is this even in my feed like this right now? You know, so I get random stuff, man. I saw you guys pop up, so I would definitely subscribe, man. I don't know when you about to go live again, but I'm at work right now. I'm gonna get lunch.
I do. I'm every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Roger, he has the Roger Report live. He goes on Monday through Friday mornings and other random times as well. But just go to my community tab. All of our videos are in there. Just sub. It's lots of good people, but Roger's in there too. So premium. Just go ahead and sub to your heart's content.
All right, man. You guys take it easy, man. Thanks again.
All right, Absalon. Appreciate that.
All right, great to chat with you, brother. Sorry I came late. I wish I could have been here early, but it's all good. Kev, I'll see you tomorrow for sure, and I'm gonna try to drop by early on you tomorrow. But man, it's been great. It's been real. Long live the habitual line steppers, and I'll holler at you later, player.
Word. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. And also, I was making my final statement earlier, so yeah, pretty much the same thing. Just be respectful of our heritage and don't use people of color as a deflection from it, because that's pretty shitty and cowardly. But anyway, thanks for everyone who watched, who pressed like, and thanks to everybody who came by. Just see y'all Sunday night. Long live the habitual line steppers. And Kev, we trust. Goodbye.